Hey champ, this is a stream that I've wanted to do since I started the game, which is kind of crazy because I've been thinking about reading the Hunter's Journal since I figured out the Hunter's Journal existed, and have been excited about it ever since. No, bro. The chat isn't working. That's fun. Can I refresh this? Not yet live or discoverable? What do you mean, not yet live or discoverable? I know I'm live and discoverable. I know I'm very much live and discoverable. I'll activate Twitch chat, I guess. Where is... Do you mind? This shit doesn't like to work sometimes, and that's very annoying. I didn't even do anything differently. Literally nothing has changed. Okay, I think that should be fine. Hey, YouTube chat. Actually, hold on, I need to look at YouTube chat. Hi Derps. Okay, yeah, he's in here. Give me a... Give me a message. Never mind, that works. Alright. Good. Alright, since that's working, send out the ping, make sure everyone can actually see it. Oh boy. Alright, so that's everything? I think that's everything. Should be good. If it's not, we'll do some impromptu setup stuff. Oh damn. I've heard nothing but great things about The Last of Us, so I mean, I hope you're having fun watching that. Don't know anything about it myself, sadly. It's one of those things that's been on my radar for like years and years and years, and I've never even looked at, so maybe one day. But, yeah. With all the, setup stuff out of the way, today we are going to be reading the Hunter's Journal, which I have completely completed. Which direction is it? I went the opposite of the right way. But there are, allegedly, almost 170 entries in the Hunter's Journal. And I want to read through all of them. Every single one this stream. And hopefully we get to talk about them. I'm going up right now. Yeah, so that I can reach the top. We're gonna go top to bottom. And whatever area we're in is going to be the ambience for the stream. So, chat, give me a place that we should go. Where should we be in ambience? The Twitch chat is not working. What the hell? Did it deactivate? It did deactivate. Okay. There. Now the chat should be fine. I need a Twitch chat message to confirm. Did that not work? Oh god. Why is this not working? What, am I only allowed to do one at once? This is stupid. Alright, I'm gonna do a full reset of it, and hopefully it's just gonna work. Of course, I have to do even more impromptu shit here. That's great. Activate that, activate that. Okay, I need a YouTube and I need a Twitch message. Twitch works, there we go. Alright, so Twitch is working. YouTube should be working now, right? Give me one. Give me one. Derps, you're probably like the only one over there. Yeah, Derps was the only one over there. You sneezed and I didn't say bless you? I'm not Christian. We, over here in... I'm not in Germany yet, but, we, where I'm going to be in Germany, we say, Gesundheit. You reply with Danke. Okay, good, good. So the chat situation's finally, been worked out. Only took 6 minutes. Anyways, I saw one message saying it should just be the funniest place. I'm looking for locations, chat. Where should we go? Where is the ambience for the rest of the stream? My vote was on Green Path. Just to give you an example. Beehive. First, I actually need to leave God home first, though. It just so happens that, God Home is like the furthest away from any stag station on the map. Right? There's literally none in the Royal Waterways. I need to leave, and then... I need to... What's it called? Where is it? I mean, it's up here. I know where it is, but what's it called again? City of Tears. I need to, like, traverse the City of Tears. Scale it a bit. The Grim Troop building? I banished them in this file. Wow, he got juked so hard. That's kind of fun. What am I doing? No. I shouldn't be collecting Geo. I had that number for, like, months. Holy shit, Essence. I'm looking without a map. Or I'm just, traveling without a map. I'm trusting that I just kinda know where it is. Even though I'm pretty sure I'm actually wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm actually wrong. It's like 1 over, isn't it? Not really. I can go up and then... Oh yeah, no, it is just this way. I should've just trusted my gut. Perfectly good file. Ruined? I wouldn't call it ruined, but the integrity of my, like, retirement of this file is gone. Alright. So... I'm gonna give you I'm gonna... Wait, fuck. I'm just realizing, where actually is the hive? Where's the closest place of the hive? What? Palace grounds? Yucky. Are you sure we want to go to the hive, Chad? Are we sure about this? Like, hold on. How do I actually zoom out? Shit, wrong button. Okay, it does not appear that I can fully zoom out, but like, we have this entire map. This entire map. You want to go to the hive? You're sure. Let's roll on fate. Hold on. What is anyone else saying? I haven't seen any other votes. Because Grim Troop, the Grim building isn't actually an option. The building's just completely gone, and actually going over to where you, like, summon them for the first time would literally just be, the Howling Cliffs theme. So... I don't even know if they're there if you beat NKG. I guess I didn't pay attention in the second playthrough. Like, I'll give you this, for now. Is it Hidden Station? I think it's Hidden Station. I'm gonna... Yes, it is Hidden Station. I'll give this to you for now. Second vote for Green Path. We'll stay here for a while. Let's do that. Every so often we'll travel to a new location. Secret Moth Hall in the Graveyard Grotto. I still have never seen that. I've heard the rumors of that place's existence and how it's like one of the most secret places in the entire game, but still have not gone there. I haven't really looked for it. I'm assuming if I just like looked around the Flower Quest room, I'd find it eventually. I should have put down a Dream Gate. Actually, wait, I could bench here and then just, yeah. Alright. It's a little closer to a stag station, so I'll take it. I can just go this way, right? Yeah. I was hearing deep nest noises, so... Alright. Be me. You can bench more than me? That's not really a competition. Pretty easy to bench more than me. Alright, I'm not gonna bench, but we're gonna go into this room. I'd like to show you why I'm not going to bench. Yeah. And, yeah, she doesn't go away if you go into your inventory, so I'm not actually gonna bench. We're just gonna be in this room. Yeah? We're okay with this? Oh, there's a squirrel on the bird feeder. Sorry, that was ADHD, chat. I looked out the window and everything just left my mind when I saw the squirrel. Alright. Let us get started. Again, I went the wrong direction. I could have literally just, like... Okay, well that was actually more button presses, I think. It actually is more button presses, or maybe equal, I don't know. I'm going on about it. So, let us begin, chat. The Crawlid. Timid scavenger that crawls through caverns looking for food. Dull and pathetic, hardly worth killing. That is so mean. Look, Hunter, that is mean. This little guy, you could, like, keep him as a pet. If he didn't damage you on contact, you could, like, pick him up and, like, give him little kisses. I bet this thing doesn't know it exists. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes and tell me that this thing knows it exists. I doubt it. It's too cute. No, don't call him pathetic. He's fine. I bet he's got a wonderful personality that is nothing. Alright. One of the most common and least threatening and most annoying enemies in the game. God, I hate God Home. Vengefly, flying predator that pursues its prey relentlessly. This fierce little hunter will bravely chase down creatures many times its size. Admirable. It is weak enough, and I have devoured hundreds of them with little effort or care. That is kind of how I feel about it as well. Maybe I'm a little speciesist, but I don't like Vengeflies very much. The big one's annoying. The Vengefly King? This guy? Yeah. Don't like him. Boo. Big mean. Just annoying. Yeah, they are just like flies. Alright, Vengefly King. Patriarch of a Vengefly colony, swoops at intruders and cries out for reinforcements if threatened. The filthy creature that is happy to chew on any old thing it finds discarded on the cavern floor. When it notices a threat, it will annoyingly scream and shriek, so kill it swiftly. I can agree with that. Kill it as fast as possible so it stops making noise. It's literally like a fly. It's just a fly. That's just how you think about flies. It buzzes so much that it annoys you at all hours of the day. Just kill it. Kill it as fast as possible. Get it out. No sympathy. I bet these things have like itty-bitty life cycles as well. Hunter's based. Sometimes. He immediately calls the Crawlid dull and pathetic. What did Crawlid do to bro? Gruther, a simple-minded creature that haphazardly buzzes around, bumping into things. They only seem dimly aware of their surroundings, make them easy prey to cut your fangs on. What is it that guides them on their paths? It almost seems like they search for ways to die. Oh, don't say that about him. This guy doesn't know he exists either. Look at him. Look at those empty eyes. Like, it's just a little baby, but it is also a fly. But their wings are so small, they probably don't really make much noise. And then, like, their wings never grow throughout their lifetime. Look at the difference here. Their wings maybe grow, like, 20% throughout their lifespan. Bro. Be me, BS enemy. Gruzmother. Mature Gruzzer that carries its young in its belly. Attacks by hurling its huge body around. That's... Sure, you know, if you got a big body and it hurts people to throw yourself at them, go for it. Be my guest. Bizarrely, this monster does not lay eggs, but instead carries its young inside of its fat stomach. This strange practice seems to exhaust the creature, making it sleepy and vulnerable. Take advantage. You say that like you don't only get 1 or 2 hits off at the start of the, like, original Gruzmother fight. And then every other time that you see the Gruzmother in the game, it's already awake when you enter the arena. So, what do you mean? There's no way a Gruzmother should be able to fly. Exactly. Let's get that, let's get the B-movie copy pasta in here. Tick. This thing, it does look like a tick. Right about that description. It's like 1 letter a word from the website which shall not be named, which we also don't want to talk about. It's that small sharp claws to climb along walls and roofs. It's literally just a beetle. Spends its time tapping its way through the roads and caverns near the surface of this kingdom. If you're patient, you can wait for it to come to you and pick it off. Well, that's just kinda mean. Why did I hear footsteps? Is there something in here? What? The only things in this room are flying enemies, and I killed the only one that's here. I'm not crazy. I'm not schizo, right? I heard walking. Like one of the guys that has a bunch of like little bees inside of it. Like the body is a hive. Like it's one of him walking around. Why? Can we do this in Green Path? That is the 3rd vote for Green Path. Let's see. Where do we go? I'll get to the end of the husks, and then we'll go to Green Path. How about that? But yeah, Tic-Tic is literally just a little beetle. It's kind of harmless, as long as it doesn't eat my fucking walls and fabric like the ones that we have infested here. I don't see, why it'd be too bad. Yeah, the aspids. Aspid hunter. Bests its prey by spitting corrosive liquid, often hunts in packs. Cunning predators that will try to pick you off from a distance. Don't try to give them, or don't give them any space, just charge it and cut them down. You'll find they are not so cunning once they are dead. I think you can say that about literally anything. Like, is that not what being dead is? Like, the least threatening thing ever? You kill something so that it isn't threatening anymore? What logic is here? Also, they are not even threatening to begin with. They're like 2 shots even from the beginning of the game with like an old rusty nail. Why is Green Path so popular? Because of the music. The music slaps. It's really nice. That's why I thought about it originally. Aspid Mother. Carries the eggs of its young inside its belly. Can hatch and birth its young as needed to deal with intruders. Shamelessly uses its own young as a weapon against its foes. Appalling, yes, but I do admire its resourcefulness. Good hunters do not always make good parents. Well, that's kinda just most parents, to be honest. That sounds like, those mothers that use their kids as... Like, their whole personality is showing off their kids and how, like, spoiled they are and how, like, perfect they are. Pretty nasty parents. But, I do wonder how their biology works once they're infected, because, like, all of the aspids carry a bunch of this, the like, orange stuff, the infection in their sacs. So are they infected, or are they like mosquitoes in the sense that they can, like, take in like whatever they drink, and then they don't really get affected by it. They take out what they need and dispose of the rest. So I mean, certainly interesting that all of them look infected, but I guess they don't really act infected. Unless being infected just means that they attack you. Something I've thought about a while. Aspid hatchling. Recently birthed, these young aspid instinctively swarm around intruders. These oh, okay, well that makes... I think that validates my theory, actually. They just instinctively swarm intruders. These hatchlings are born with an instinct to kill. They are still only infants, though, and you can crush them between your fangs without thinking. Just don't let them overwhelm you with numbers. I'm pretty sure this does just validate my theory about them just instinctively attacking things, like bugs tend to do. Who is the most homosexual enemy? I will say, for how out of pocket almost everything you say is, it is almost always hilarious, in one way or another. Who is the most homosexual enemy? And you're talking about bugs. Actual bugs. What the hell? Perfect children, as some parents might claim, yeah. Those children grow up in a world where they see themselves as the only living being, for the most part. Some of them break free, but... it is quite sad how those kids are raised and how those parents act about their kids. It says a lot about being rich or, like, smart in general and how society sees value in people. It's pretty gross, actually. Gome. That's a guy. So do you think this thing eats out of both ends, or do you think one of its mouths is also a shitter? Cause this thing has 2 ends, and they both look basically the same. So does it eat out of the same mouth it shits in? Or does it, like, only eat out of one end, and the other end is exclusively a shitter? Does it taste in both ends? Can it taste? How do you think this thing exists on a regular basis? I agree, it does look like an anemone, I can see that. Just a little bit. Or like just a big piece of coral. Thickly armored, it bursts from the ground to seize prey in its fangs. These brutes seem to be impervious to most damage, so you can sharpen your weapons on their thick hide or just slash away at them for your own amusement. They barely seem to notice. They're just worms. These are just, like, heavily armored worms. What the fuck? I look down and see someone talking about sticking their dick in it. That's crazy. At least you found your answer for what is the most homosexual, enemy. Sure. What the fuck? Why are we talking about sticking dicks in bugs? What is going on? Bruh. Nasty ass chatters. Well, I can't really lob everyone else into it, it's just one person. Flukemarm might be the most gay. That might be the better answer. Yeah, I thought we were beyond this as well. What happened? Jesus Christ. Why are we fucking the worm chat? My god, it's so sharp too. That would be so painful. Why would you do that? Holy Jesus. Seek Jesus. Actually, don't. That might make you worse. Dear God. Ugh. Yeah, it had a redemption arc and everything, and we're still not completely over this. Ugh. What the fuck? Bro, okay, nah. Alright, buddy. Alright. That one was a little far. Chill out. I need to start actually enforcing, being chill. that was a bit much, man. Chill out. Tone it down a little bit. We're not going there, man. Alright. You be chill, bro. You're talking about fucking the worms and shit. Bruh. No way. With PG, it's more like R, but he just went like MA. My god. Could get banned for your disobedience. Anyways, back to the reading. God. Wandering Husk. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force, literally a parasite. These civilized bugs of Hollowness were weak in life, and now they are equally weak in death. Send them back to the dirt they were born in. How sad. 5 levels. That's pretty accurate. -5. No, I think that'd be like 95 for you, actually. Husk Hornhead. These are all literally just like normal bug citizens, aren't they? That's like the Husk's entire lineage here. There's like different version of the Husks, or different versions of the Husks, and they're all like just infected versions of normal bugs, the common folk, the layman. Alright. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force uses horn to attack any uninfected creature it finds. These bugs have an arrogant air about them, even after dying, overly proud of their long horns. I enjoy snapping them off. I think that says more about the hunter than it does the actual... the husk. Is it just me? Like, it gives off the same vibe that people that hunt deer for their antlers do. Like, they're kind of compensating for their tiny little... their very little amount of worth. And their large egos, they think they're better than these animals, so they need the biggest horns possible. Very insecure about themselves. That's how that's how that reads. It can be satisfying, but hunting something just to, like, snap off a horn, that seems... I don't know. He's talking about arrogance. I think that wanting to kill something to snap its horn off is arrogance itself. Leaping Husk. The remains of a bug animated by strange force. It will instinctively leap at uninfected creatures to attack them. The bugs of Old Hollowness did not hunt their own food. They had it brought to them. That's why they were so weak. That's why their kingdom crumbled to dust and faded away. Okay, but that means there were still hunters. There were still things that that killed their own food and like farmed it or brought it, or one way or another. There were still people that made the food that everyone else ate. So only certain bugs were weaker. I don't know. I don't think that makes any sense. Bro's a little off his gourd. I think he might just be racist, actually. The hunter might just be racist. You ever thought about that? Maybe that's what this is. He seems to appreciate other creatures more than others. Like, all of these have been, they're so weak and pathetic. But then, like... I don't know, he has, like, respect for the Gome because it's, like, basically impossible to kill. Man. Husk Bully. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force. It aggressively attacks any uninfected creatures it finds. A thick orange mist fills these walking corpses. It has a sweet, sickly taste to it. I find it foul. After you kill these creatures, I suggest you do not eat them. I don't think anyone thought about eating an infected creature, except for you. Is there really that little food here? Jeez. I was bullied in school. Me too, man. Who wasn't? I think everyone was. That is just a human experience. The most, like, factual statement of any human ever. Husk Warrior. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force wields a nail and shell. Softened by generations of luxury, these bugs lack claws or armor or venom. Those who wish to protect themselves are forced to fashion weapons from stone, ore, or shell. I don't know if this is supposed to be derogatory or not. He talks about it like, oh, they're so pampered. They have to craft things in order to defend themselves. They lost all of their natural ability to defend themselves and attack things. Man, that's so pathetic. Imagine, man. Like, I can just use my big-ass claws to kill stuff, but they have to create things and use weapons instead of their hands? Ugh. Like, buddy, that's called evolution. Chill out. What is this actual speciesism? I hate this guy. I disagree. The hunter is no longer based. Nosk would eat husks. I think that's fair. That sounds right. I mean, Nosk is already infected, so it wouldn't be like you'd risk getting infected from eating a husk. Husk Guard, the big beefy guy. The remains of a Great Hollowness Cross Guard. What? This guy's infected? I didn't know these were infected before Infected Crossroads. Instinct still drives it to guard its post against intruders. Larger and stronger than their brothers, these bugs are still forced to steal their weapons from the remains of other creatures. They do not roam or hunt forever, or forever standing guard and lashing out against anything that wanders near. I didn't know these were infected. I thought they were just, like, one of the last remaining guards that were still alive. But it does make sense that they're infected, I guess. By chick magnet, I'm willing to bet you mean, like, chickens. There's no chance any women want you, bro. I hate to say it. You need to do some reforming in order to get there. I forgot these were here. Oops. I mean, I guess it's kinda obvious that size doesn't matter in this situation especially. I mean, you were just talking about Nosk, and that big lug is, completely infected. And the fully grown Minecraft YouTube. Does that imply you're a minor? Is bro like 15? Also, they probably wouldn't want you unless you're a girl, because like all of them have to be guys. That's like the stereotype. Yeah, day's going fine so far. Hope everyone else's is as well. Go green path. Holy shit. Alright. What would be a good room here? I mean, I could just sit out here. Be free, Lumafly. Alright, yeah, we'll just sit here, I think. Alright. Oh, that wasn't the end of the husks. I just, like, ignored this one because it was a different color for some reason. Entombed husk. Mummified remains, deformed and enraged by infection. Inside these shambling corpses is bright light that pierces any darkness. I peered inside that light once and saw something within it shining back. Something terrible. Oh. Something that made the hunter fear? I mean... does that imply he's afraid of the radiance? I mean, I get it. Because it's like, the source of the infection. I hear a dickhead moving. I can't focus with you moving. Stop it. Anyways, that was the wrong button. Hunter fears Absred. I get it. I'd probably be afraid of a giant moth that shoots lasers as well. False Knight, let's go, another boss. A maggot driven mad by a strange force inhabits a stolen armored shell. Weak creatures love to steal the strength of others. Their lives are brief and fearful, and they yearn to have the power to dominate those who have dominated them. Me for real. Hunter is a weedy confirmed. He's just an arrogant ego lord. That's all the Hunter seems to be. Like, he hunts stuff for sport, and then calls them weak and pathetic when he wins. Bro is literally just like a toxic Minecraft PvP player. Pretty sad. Maggot. Weakest members of the Kingdom of Hollownest. Generally looked down upon and forced to do menial labor. Poor guys. Literal slaves. Consisting mainly of sweet fat, these helpless creatures make excellent provisions for long journeys, best roasted over open flame. If they try to bargain for their life, just ignore them, they have nothing to offer. That's sad. If they beg for their life, just ignore them. Wow. They do look like marshmallows, you're right. They look like they'd be... I've heard that they're good. Can't confirm, never had them, but they look like those, like, really big, juicy worms. The ones that always look actually good to eat. Except the only thing about the maggots here is they are sentient, and I'd feel very bad eating them. I don't think I could. Poor guys. Slaves their entire life and then also food. Wild. Life seed. Small scuttling seed filled with lifeblood, which can be extracted and consumed for its healthful properties. So I'm not alone in, like, what does this mean? How do you extract stuff and it just, like, gives you health? Because within lore, right, the masks that you obtain throughout the game are, like... I'm pretty sure Team Cherry's come out and been like, yeah, those are just actual masks that are on top of each other. So, lifeblood masks are, like, physical masks. How does the stuff inside a lifeblood cocoon in the life seed turn into lifeblood masks? What happens? Does the knight, like, mold the lifeblood into a mask shape and then put it on? Interesting. The bright liquid inside of these little fellows is delicious, and drinking it will make you feel stronger. I wonder how my own innards taste. Would it be a heinous thing to try and drink some? Some people do it, man. You sure go for it. Why not? But he says drinking. The bright liquid inside these little things is delicious, and drinking it will make you feel stronger, so you drink it. So, I'm guessing since the knight can't really eat or drink anything, it's like, it absorbs it? But then, how does that translate into it becoming like a mask? How does that work? Bright blue liquid every day. Holy shit. I love that Gatorade flavor. Alright, Balder. Yippee, these little things. Actual little beetles. Banning that guy. The chemicals are bad. I might want to get that checked out. Rolls into a ball and propels itself at intruders who wander into its territory, aggressive even when newly born. Younger hunters delight in catching these creatures and rolling them around for sport. I encourage you to indulge yourself if the fancy strikes you. Sure. Why not? I mean, they're infected. Do they even feel in this state? Are they even alive? Could you consider this alive? If they're born infected, are they alive? Were they ever alive to begin with? Wouldn't it be more like you're birthing a parasite and not the actual creature? I guess it depends on if, like, you could possibly cure it. Because after, the God Home ending, it seemed like you completely get rid of the infection without having to, like, kill the Hollow Knight or anything like that. If you can revoke the infection without killing the creature, even after, like if a creature's born infected, and you can still erase the infection from it without killing it? Interesting thought. Food for thought. Actually has me thinking about it. Is it alive? Is it inhumane to use these as, like, balls? Eh. Elder Balder. Bulky and covered in thick plating, retracts into itself when attacked. As they age, these creatures become too heavy and lumpy to roll around freely. Instead, they curl up and hide from the world. What do they think of in there, wrapped up inside of themselves? More carefree times, perhaps. I mean, sounds fair. Are they normally just curled up? I forget. I haven't seen one in a while. They're normally curled up. Wait, no, they're only curled up when you're near them. Aside from that, they're like perking up. They look like how they do in the image. They only hide once you get close. They probably just spend their general free time and perk up when something gets like near, but once it gets too close, yeah, that makes more sense. We're gonna go with that, actually. Moss creep. I love these little guys. The mossy guys, they're so cute. Like, look at that little fella. Aww. Weakling that covers itself in leaves to appear larger. Hides amongst the undergrowth. I used to think these things were merely ambling plants. When I learned that they were actually living creatures, I began to kill them on sight. This is the nature of the hunt. That's mean. That is just mean. Why would you do that? It's just a little fella. That's so real. You're not weird for liking moss. You can eat it all you want. You could even, like, have a little moss corner that you sit down in and trap yourself in a cell and just eat it for fun. Maybe have a friend join you in eating moss, you know? It's not that weird. Mossfly. Winged weakling that covers itself in leaves to appear larger, hides amongst the undergrowth, fleeing if predators draw near. They spend their whole lives hiding or fleeing, how sad. Or perhaps that is the life they choose for themselves, and they enjoy it? It's a strange thought, but not impossible. That's just kind of how prey creatures live. Does he not understand that? That's, like, instinct for them. It's like, you're never gonna be able to approach a deer that hasn't been around humans. You approach a completely wild deer that's never seen a human before, and they're gonna dash away from you before you can even get remotely close to them. That's prey instinct. That's just how they work. Does he not get that? Has nothing ever ran away from him like that? I don't get it. That is true. He's kinda lying. They kinda hover towards you when you get close, not flee. Maybe the knight is just a, unintimidating creature. Mosskin. Plant-like bug that charges at foes when close. They can be hard to spot amongst the foliage, but until you get— oh, what? Jeez, I lost the sauce there for a second. They can be hard to spot amongst the foliage until you get too close, and then they suddenly come charging at you. Tread carefully. I think they're too light to blend in very well. The environment is really, like, I don't know. It's pretty dark. Pretty dark green. At least, like, most of it. Whoa, wait a minute. I never found this? I just realized. Cool. Sick Wanderer's Journal. Awesome. I didn't know I never found that before. Anyways. Volatile Mosskin. Plant-like bug swollen with infection, releases deadly gas when threatened. The gas that seeps from their growth smells invitingly sweet, but will burn through the shell and flesh if you get too close. So the infection smells sweet. I'm guessing that's how most of the bugs got infected. They, like... it's like, oh, it smells so sweet, and Ooh, it even tastes a little yummy, so they eat it and then they get infected. And because they're bugs, they're like more naturally attracted to the sweetness. So it's more enticing, and they're kind of just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat this. Not gonna think about it. Sweet. Tastes kind of nice. Whatever. And then they turn into zombies. Poor fellas. But it's acidic. It will burn through shell and flesh if you get too close. So, it's sweet, but it's acidic? But then also, how would... The hunter said it ate some of it. It ate bodies that were, like, fully infected. Would it... not, like, kill the hunter? Oh yeah, and then there's also dreams, like, being around it and, sleeping is a pretty bad couple of things to do. Weakens your mind, and then it breaks in through dreams. It's mostly a mind virus, not really a physical one. I mean, I obviously look at this thing, it's a physical one. This thing explodes when you get near it, and then explodes when you kill it, so... It's both a physical and mental thing. Fool Eater. Carnivorous plant that snaps at any creature that comes close. You really would have to be a fool to be tricked by a plant. What are you talking about? Who actually gets fooled by this thing? Like, really? That'd be stupid. I mean, look at it. It looks so blatant and obvious. How could you ever fall for that? Squid. Charges at prey with its needle-like proboscis. When they lunge at you, don't panic. Stand your ground and strike back as they come close. Yeah, parry that little shit. It does look like a mosquito, so I hate them. I can't deny that. This thing, I don't feel bad for it. Obel, little guy. Fat, slow-flying bug, frequently discharges the acidic liquid stored in its round body. Does it realize what a nuisance it is? Drifting around, spilling its noxious juices everywhere it goes? If you see any, make sure to kill them. It's just a little fella, though, to be fair. I mean, it is a little annoying, but it's just a little guy. How come we never had Fool Eaters in the Colosseum of Fools? That does make sense. That would be an enemy that would make sense there. However, how would you put that in the Colosseum? You just, like, drop it? It's not exactly, not exactly very subtle. Like, the Obels are, it's like a little guy. It's annoying, but it's just a little fella. Golka. That's an interesting name. That probably means something. Aggressive plant life that retracts protectively when danger is near. Spits hard, spiky balls when foes are at a distance. Its leaves are dry and bland. The bud is unpleasantly sour, but oh, the venom in those balls it spits. Exquisite. If you have the time to spare, try drinking some and enjoy the effects. That sounded like a Louis note from, like, Pikmin. Anyone else get that vibe? It's like, oh, he was about to start spewing a recipe for this thing. Even talks about enjoying the effects. This thing makes you high. Nice balls, bro. Mask fly. What? Holy shit. Wait, I just realized, where is it? Probably close down here, isn't it? Okay, I'm not gonna go looking for it, but, this thing looks like an uninfected version of the, like, the self-boomy guys, right? Am I right about that? Harmless flying creatures that... a creature, I guess not plural. Hi Aram, Gulkma. Harmless flying creature that favors serene environments, usually travels in flocks. Me too, buddy. Except I don't have a flock. They all keep a lookout for danger when one flies away, the rest do as well. I wonder how it feels to have the protection of a pack. That is literally just a pigeon. But that is very cute. I like pigeons. Was it in the waterways part? No, I'm pretty sure they're here. Like, I could probably go, like, up and find one. I know they're... Actually, it's probably higher. I know they're over by... one of the benches. I think the one at the start. Like, the one closest to the entrance to the Forgotten Crossroads. There's a whole bunch in there. It's like a grinding spot for low percent. I need to kill shit again. Awesome. Of course, there's like very select few enemies that respawn every time you leave the room. But yeah, I'm pretty sure these are like one of the optimal essence farms at the start of the Green Path. They might be in waterways. I think I just realized you're talking about the explodey ones, though. Which are, like, everywhere. You first see those in the City of Tears. They're probably in the City of Tears section. Moss Charger. Timid creature that frightens away intruders by covering itself in huge clumps of moss. It's small, but it finds a lot of courage and strength once it covers itself in foliage. And I can understand the desire to camouflage oneself. He got inspiration from Moss Charger, didn't he? He literally hides in a big glob of moss in like a little cave. I mean, I get it. I too would want to apply a lot of moss to myself to make myself large and, in these guys' cases, cute. Yeah, Mossy! Massive Moss Charger. Family of creatures that have learned to bulk up with moss and live as one. This is strength in numbers, yes, but these creatures never had much strength to begin with. Cut through their trickery. By cut, he means pet, actually. You gotta pet this thing and make it love you. They'll love you so much that they'll, like, explode out of it their shells. They'll explode out of their shells with joy. It's very cute, actually. Do you know what else is massive? Moss Knight. Protector of the green... of the Green Path? I guess it is technically called Green Path, there's no plurality there. Protector of the Green Path. Trained in the ways of the nail and shell. Really cool title for something that's literally just a moss-covered bug with a nail and a shield. They hide as a bush-like... there's no A there. They hide as bush-like mounds and look soft, but beware these warriors. They are relentless in combat, fiercely guarding something hidden deep in the Green Path. Really? Fierce, you say? Fear them, you say? I should be afraid of them, you say? Really? I need to be afraid of them? They're scary and... Oh, I need to be afraid of them? I need to be afraid of them, you say? Really? Fierce? Timid warriors? Wow. I am truly moved by how fierce and timid warriors they are. Even the squid is a more fierce warrior. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mossy vagabond, lazy, portly mosskin, easily swayed by others. Well, I think that's just a joke about it being fat, that's mean. Slow, fat, and easily vanquished. Common threads and... I thought that said threats, but I misread it. No, it is just threads. Low fat and easily vanquished. Common threads in those who forget their calling and forsake their duties. What does that even mean? What do you mean forsake its duties? What duties does this thing have? This is a natural citizen of Greenpath. No, Derps, you're better than a mossy vagabond. Durandu. That's a fun name. This thing looks cool. Simple walking creature encased in a hard shell, often found wading in shallow pools of acidic water. One of the few creatures that can survive in the rivers of harsh acidic water that flow around us. Where does this water come from? It bubbles and spits with a seething hatred on the living, or of the living. Infection? If the infection juices are acidic, then isn't the most simple answer that the acid waters are just rivers and lakes and stuff like that that were tainted with infection? No, Hid hasn't had mod here. I actually did want to mention that with good behavior, I do think that eventually Hid will get mod. Consistency and good behavior. Do it for long enough, and I may just give you a little surprise. That's all I'll say about that. Duranda. Simple flying creature protected by a spiky shell. Thinks itself fully protected and is so unconcerned by passerbys. Attack its face and teach it that nothing is ever safe. Yeah. Alright. That's... I wouldn't call a bug being carefree ego, but sure, if you want to look that deeply into it, Hunter, go for it. You do you. Also, yeah, I'm pretty sure these names are plays on durians, because they look like durians. That being said, this one is... The Duranda is so much spikier than the Durandu. I don't even know how you can't stand on the Durandu. It looks like you could. Like you could just stand on it and it carries you across the lake. The spikes... I can't imagine they could hurt you unless you, like, hit them hard, but the knight isn't even, like, large enough for something like these to really hurt. I don't know. The spikes are also too large to hurt things like the knight. So, interesting. Don't know why these things can hurt you. Aluba. Look at these big cuties. Passive glider that prefers to dwell near acid waters. What a careless life led drifting above us all. If one ever comes too close to the ground, though, yeah. I'm pretty sure that I can confidently say this thing is a reference to those real giant dragonflies. Which is terrifying, although, the giant dragonflies were carnivorous and highly aggressive, so you wouldn't be safe around the giant dragonflies. But you would probably be safe around these. Maybe. It does like to imply here that, it's probably gonna hurt you. Derpanda. Charged Lumafly. When threatened, they cluster together, generating electricity. They usually drift about peacefully, but sometimes they cluster together and spit out a sharp, crackling flash that will stun and burn even large beasts like myself. Watch closely for an opening and move past them quickly. Even the hunter doesn't kill them. If they only generate electricity when clustering together, you could kill them, right? Why doesn't he? Why aren't these killable? just hit them when they're not charging. Although, like, it would be kind of mean, but very picky, choosy about what enemies you can and can't kill and what does and doesn't hurt you. Like, oh, these spikes will deal damage to you, but you can't actually touch the uncharged Lumaflies. Sure. Hardly worth killing, like crawlids? These are more threatening than crawlids, though. The crawlids just kind of mindlessly wander. These things have an actual defense mechanism. Like, I get that they're, game mechanically, they have, like, cycles that they go on that they never really deviate from, but... they are more threatening. It is a threat response, unlike crawlids that just wander and probably don't even know they exist. So, I don't know. These were definitely meant as like an actual hazard that you're not supposed to kill. Maybe you could have killed them before, but they changed it. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Uma, or Uoma? Probably Uma. Smallest jelly form. Passive and unaware, but pulsing with the dangerous electric charge. The spirit of a dead ancestor? The brain of a larger creature allowed to drift free? An egg searching for a safe place to spawn? I have no idea what this is. It's just a jellyfish. It's just a floating jellyfish. That's also electric. Jellyfish are electric. This is just a floating jellyfish. Like, that's literally what it is. That's all it is. It's kind of just that simple. Eating a mango, how many should you eat? How many do you have? Oh, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, this is an A, B, or C question. 2. Umu. Or like Oma Umu. What? How would you pronounce all of these? It's like Uma, and then Umu. Maybe? Hold on. Let's actually get... Let's get, like, translate in here or something. Okay, I put it into translate, and this word... What is this? Afrikaans? Uma translates to grandmother in English. Okay, that's,
Oma.
Oma. Would you say Uma as Uma?
Uma.
You would. Okay, so it's like Alma and Uma. Interesting.
Uoma.
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 Ah. Okay. Learning how to pronounce things, chat. Uoma? Yeah, it's like Uoma, yeah. It's like Uoma and then Uma. Okay, so... Umas are just like little jellies. Umas are big jellies, and then Umu is the big fuck you jelly. Alright. Uma. Passive outer being, protecting an aggressive explosive core. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it explodes because it's, like, infected. That's an infectious bulb. Like, it's just a densely compact, explosive ball of infection. Yeah? I mean, sure, if you don't want to explain it. Ghastly, eerie creature made out of thick liquid. Liquid? You can peer right through them and can't see where they keep their thoughts. I don't trust them at all. Keep away. Oh no, it doesn't have a brain but still moves? Yeah, they are kind of mysterious. They're literally just giant nervous systems with no instincts. Or maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's literally exactly the opposite. Maybe it's more they are driven by instincts and nothing else, because they're just a giant nervous system. Well, no, because if they're just a giant nervous system, they only react to stimuli, so they wouldn't have instincts. Or maybe I'm not thinking about instincts in the correct way. Would instincts just be, like, a reaction to nervous system stimuli? Like, just your natural reaction, like, ooh, ow, pain, like, oh, your instinct when hurt is, ouchies, move away from thing that hurt you. Probably, actually, that's probably more what it is. So it is instincts? I'm confused. I don't think I could... I don't think I'm in the, position to answer that right now. Jellyfish don't have instincts, but you see that? Then that's the thing. Is it just nervous system... Is it just nervous system stimuli that counts as instincts? Because instincts are kind of just like... Oh, you're built to react this way to this thing. Like, pain, your reaction to pain is an instinct. But then again, the instinct is only like an instinct because you have a brain that tells you what to do in reaction to thing. But your nervous system is the thing that actually does it. I'm a bit confused. What is the actual... They automatically sting when something touches it. Jellyfish are actually very interesting creatures, I'm realizing. Quite interesting creatures. Some even have eyes? I didn't know that. I thought all breeds were similar to this, or all species, I guess. That's cool, though. I didn't even know some of them had eyes. Terrible, obviously, because, I mean... most fish have terrible eyes. But, still. It's pretty cool. Yeah, jellyfish are technically immortal. They can be killed, but they, I don't know if there are specific ones that are completely immortal and others that aren't, but... most of them, to my knowledge, can't actually age or, like, refresh their age with aging. I like both zoology and astronomy. I am very multi-interest. So... insulting one doesn't exactly put the other down for me. I like both. Joke's on you. Alright. Not immortal. There are some that have been reported basically shedding their body and returning to a baby-like state. Like, once they get to a certain point, or when feel threatened, they... well, I guess it's not feeling threatened, but just... once they reach a certain point, they... completely shed their body, go back to a baby form, baby state, redo it. Unless that eventually leads to death, but... I haven't done my research. For all I know, that's just hearsay. Alright, yeah, I'm supposed to be reading stuff. Umu. Intelligent being that guards the inner chamber of the teacher's archives. Why is this one intelligent? Is that a brain? Is that implied to be a brain? The canyon below us, the one thick with fog and crackling with strange energy. A hunter can lose their senses down there. Be careful, strange and unnatural things lurk there. So, Umu is intelligent. Is this a brain instead of just, like, a core? Because these ones are... not... alive. Yeah? Like, these aren't brains with the Uoma and the Uma? But Umu is intelligent. So we go from, like, unfeeling... I mean, not really unfeeling, but, like... non-aware creatures into intelligent creature that is, like, self-aware. What? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, if it is a brain, it's obviously an infected brain. Pretty interesting biology among literally just these 3 enemies. Alright, into the fungal wastes. Ambloom. Simple-minded, crawling fungus. Its cap is covered in a layer of hardened spikes. Lie on your belly, open your maw, and let this tasty morsel stroll straight into your stomach. Sure. I'd try it. I like mushrooms. My favorite way is fried or sauteed. Put a little bit of, like, garlic powder, some salt and pepper. Ooh. I could use that right about now. I think I'm just hungry, though. It is literally a Pokemon. This is first evolution Pokemon right here. The first evolution of a Pokemon. I mean, this is. These are just like a full Pokemon evolution line right here. This thing would... the way that I imagine this evolution line would work is this thing has, like, no actual aggressive abilities. It only has, like, oh, growl or intimidate. You know, the stat buffs or things like that, or harden, you know? Maybe not harden. I don't think this thing could harden. This is just like a one-shot, one-kill kind of guy. You send this in to die. But then it evolves into like an Uma, which can learn some... I don't think there's explosive abilities in Pokemon, are there? Electric Psychic. Maybe. Actually, yeah, they are electric. They could learn, like, electric moves. Maybe fire? Psychic does also make sense, though, but I feel like it only learned... like, it changed from... maybe electric fire into electric psychic. Self-destruct, that's a good one. Yeah. It learns self-destruct upon evolving, and then Umu would probably... like, you'd be able to retain it, but... you'd get a whole new line of abilities that it can learn once you evolve it to Umu. But the typing change could entice you to not evolve. I like this conversation we're having about the jellies. Yeah, Umu's an interesting concept here. But I feel like Umu had to have been different from birth in order for Umu to become Umu, as opposed to just another jellyfish. Unless we're going by, like... I don't know. Like, vessel rules? Where, oh, in theory, the knight could turn into something similar to the Hollow Knight with training and age or something like that. Also, there is literally an entire enemy in Pokemon, or a Pokemon in Pokemon that is, just a suicide bomber? Basically. It's Electrode, right? And it's a evolution? I don't remember what the evolution's called, though. Like, its main ability is self-destruct. like its only purpose is to self-destruct, really. Voltorb and Electrode, yeah, those two. Anyways. Fungling. Passive fungal balloon. Internal gases cause it to float. Just a child, it drifts about with closed eyes and an open mind. When I was young, my brothers and sisters and I would hunt each other in the nest. Now I hunt alone. Hey, didn't you say that the hunters were only male? Or was I reading that wrong? This confirms sisters. Shockwave, parabolic charge. Oh yeah, right, it does have other electric moves. Just a couple. I don't think they're very strong, though. Or, like, the natural things it learns. At least from my personal experience, I was never able to actually use it as a good electric type. The Aspid Hunters. Okay, I see. I read it wrong. Anywho. Fungoon. Holy shit, goon? Guys! It said the funny word. Gooning? That thing that used to mean, like, a villain's sidekicks at some point, but got turned into masturbating somehow? Sure. I gooned a fungus. I don't think you should be doing that, bro. Might get an infection. Fully grown fungal balloon. Spits built up internal gas at aggressors. So round. I don't think I've seen a rounder creature than this. This world certainly hides some marvelous creatures. I must hunt them all down. Sure, man. Not just gonna let the beauty of nature be the beauty of nature. It's all gonna die for some reason. Sporg. That's a fun word. Detects nearby movement and fires out explosive spores that drift towards their target. If you're skillful, you can lead their spores back to them and watch them perish in a destruction of their own making. There's a lesson in that, I think. You're right, it is just a balloon. I mean, it literally is a balloon. I think my first impression of the Fungoon was Puffy Blowhog from Pikmin. So, I mean, that says something. But this is just a plant. It's just literally just a fungus. Little creature. This is another bomb guy. You can die by your own spores. That is a bad enemy. That's a pretty flawed defense mechanism. If a creature even accidentally wanders too close to you when you're trying to defend yourself, you just die and there's nothing you can do about it. That's pretty bad. I mean, it's effective if it does work, but the amount of times that it cannot work is a problem. Why are there so many suicide bomber enemies in video games? I don't know. I don't get why that's such a common trend. That's not really a common thing to happen in real life. Enemies with, like, entire purposes of just dying in order to kill you. That doesn't happen in reality very often. There's only, like, one bug that I can think of off the top of my head that can do that, or that normally does that, and it's a bee. And it doesn't really achieve its goal of being like a suicide bomber. It stings you as a very, very last resort mechanism, and then dies thinking it tried to fend something off. Like, there's a few things that spout internal organs and stuff in order to, like, scare things, or like that one beetle that... Or no, that one, I think it's lizard that shoots blood out of its eyes to deter predators, and... What is it called? Bombardier ant? Do those die when they explode, or... No, it doesn't. It just has, like, a crazy chemical reaction inside of its body. But it doesn't die when it does that. It's evolved so that it's, like, immune to its own acids and stuff like that. So, I don't really get why everything just kind of kills itself in games like that. In America, it's a common enemy type. You're so real for that. That's an America-exclusive common enemy. Let's go. So-called freedom when the suicide bomber shows up to the airport. That is a joke, FBI. Don't do anything. I'm chill. Don't freak out. Fungified husk. I wanted to say remnants so bad. The remains of a bug consumed by fungus frequently releases a cloud of thick, deadly gas. The bugs of Hollow Nest are so pathetic that being infected by poisonous fungi actually increases their chances of survival. They are absurd creatures. They really are absurd creatures. I mean... Isn't that the reason that the mantises... Like, a lot of the mantises decided to intentionally get themselves infected because it made them stronger? That's like the whole Mantis Lord lore. What's the keybind to start screen recording? What does that mean? What are you referring to? Like OBS? I don't have one. Shroomling. Small fungal creature. Spends most of its time in the ground, but can uproot and flee if it senses danger. Looks like an ordinary mushroom until you get close, then it pops out of the ground and starts scurrying around blindly. Very, very amusing. Trader Lord? Didn't I say Trader Lord? Such a little creature. I'd also like watching it scurry around blindly. Blooms look tasty. I think if you cooked it right. Depends on if it's like meaty or if it's like an actual like mushroom. Get you a glass of water. I need one myself. I'm the one talking. My voice is gonna be dead by the end of this. It's been an hour and a half and I'm like only 50 into this, what, like nearly 170 page journal. Shroomel Warrior. Fungal creature that attacks intruders to protect its young. Something queer in the air has caused these mushrooms to grow hearts, minds, and even faces. This means they now fear for their lives, like all living creatures. I'm guessing that makes it appreciate, or not appreciate, but that makes it like hunting more. Wow! What exactly does queer mean in this context? Just like peculiar? Something interesting or weird? Wouldn't that... If it's like weird, if queer is a word to use as like weird, isn't queer kind of a slur? Like, it's not a powerful slur, but if you call queer people queer because they're weird, that doesn't really check out. I wouldn't really want to self-identify as queer if queer means like weird. Interesting. Interesting how words evolve like that. Shroomel Ogre. Huge fungal creature. Attacks by spitting corrosive venom and slamming its body into foes. Are these hulking things beasts or are they mushrooms? I cut one in half and peered inside to find out, but could find no answers in its soft, sinking inside, or stinking insides. Huh. Is it hollow? Or is it just like, you know, you cut open a mushroom and there's just more mushroom? Interesting. Yeah, it is the most homosexual enemy. It literally says it in the name. Or in the description. Mantis Youth. Member of a proud tribe, fiercely protective of its territory, launches stinging attacks with its needle-sharp abdomen. As it grows, it loses its ability to fly. Passage into adulthood is often celebrated, but as time goes by, we realize what we have lost. Damn, you got a little too real. You know those, images that try to depict the early days? Like, oh, the early 2000s, or like the mid-2000s, or literally any time before 2016 is just like bright, densely saturated picture image, and then like everything after 2016 or even 2020 has just been dull and desaturated. That's what this is conveying. So real, though. So real. Mantis Warrior, member of a proud tribe fiercely protective of its territory, launches savage attacks with bladed forelimbs. That's so real. You know, I think it'd be both really cool and really scary to meet a mantis that was the size of, like, a person. Soon to be 2024. That's so real. I can't wait for 2023 to end. If you venture too deep into the fungal forest, these warriors will stand in your way. What is it they guard deep at the bottom of their territory? A gate into, like, a dark place? Mantis Lords. Leaders of the Mantis tribe and its finest warriors. They bear thin nail lances and attack with blinding speed. The Mantis tribe and the bugs of Old the Mantis tribe and the bugs of Old Hollowness have no love for each other. The Mantises outlived their rivals, though. The Mantises outlived their rivals, though, and their civilization still stands. Yeah, I wouldn't call the normal Mantis Lords fight, like, blinding speed. Sisters of Battle, though, yeah, I'd say that that's blinding speed. They're fast, but, like, it's not crazy. They are powerful. They are not only not infected, but they're still guarding something that technically has no real need to be guarded anymore. Try not to fuck a bug challenge ultimate final boss. Holy shit. Can we go 2 seconds without sexualizing actual insects? Jeez. What the fuck? Husk Sentry. Animated remains of a Hollowness sentry. Still retains some memory of its former task. I think most of these things do. Didn't they? Because, I mean, like, with the Husk Guards from earlier, it said that they also retain some of their instinct to defend where, like, their stations, or whatever. More skilled at combat than most bugs of Hollowness. They are nimble but lightly armored. Keep the pressure on them. They now die in one hit to me. GG easy. Heavy Sentry. Animated remains for large Hollowness Sentry. One of the few in Hollowness strong enough to wield a great nail. Surprisingly quick-witted for a corpse, it will try to catch you if you leap over it and can chase you if you flee. Enjoyable to hunt, but beware them in packs. Nah, I think these also die in one hit now. I could be wrong about that. Oh, like... Oh no, there's like 20 of them in one small confined space. Whatever will I do, Descending Dark? A winged sentry. Flying sentry of hollowness patrols the heights of the vast caverns in which the city was built. Dances through the air just out of reach until it spots an opening and then swoops in for a decisive strike. If you're confident, wait for it to come to you to counter, or then counterattack. I hate these things. And the Lance Sentry. I hate the Lance Sentry more than the Winged Sentry. Lance Sentry. Winged Sentry of Hollowness equipped with the Nail Lance. Charges at threats or throws its lance from a distance. This devious foe will often keep its distance and try to pick you off with its thrown weapons. When it charges at you, leap up and strike it down. I mean, okay. A smart creature, a smart guard, smart sentry. Yeah, all the homies hate Lance Sentries. These are the worst. Genuinely the biggest hindrances of any run. Like, even when they come to you, it's just annoying. They're just giant, long hitboxes with... Like, they can hit you, but you can only hit it in, like, the smallest little hitbox when they dash towards you. It's so stupid. So annoying. If I lose a Steel Soul run, it might be to one of these guys. That's my guess. Like, this is a genuine contender for a Steel Soul ender. Holy shit, me and Derps had the exact same thought process. Let's go, twinsies. Mistake. Once a highly intelligent bug deformed by the misuse of soul, this is literally just an amalgamate from Undertale. It would be fun if you could parry their lances back at them. Can't wait for Silk Song so that we can do that. This is pretty sad, actually. If you're twins, you can't be dating? What the fuck? We're not dating, bro. I'm married. The fuck? What are you talking about dating? What indeed? Oh no. These fools meddled with the soul of other creatures and lost their shape. Literally Undertale. Literally Undertale. Now they skulk through the shadows of their sanctum like slugs, hoping their old brothers will build them new bodies. Literally Undertale. Literally Undertale. No, Curse knows Allie. Allie's been in multiple streams that they've been in. Hold on, indeed. What the fuck is going on? 4K. Bro, you talking about that, like... What is it, like 144p? Was that a timeout? Yeah, it's 600 seconds. Let's go. That'll teach you. That'll learn you one. I'm actually going to let that that timeout go full length. That's the 10 minutes. 10 minutes in timeout for you. Face the wall, in the corner. You look back, I'll add a minute. Alright? It goes to YouTube. Well said, Derps. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, Mistake is literally just an amalgamate from Undertale. Poor fellas. And I'm guessing this applies to Follies as well. Once a highly intelligent bug inflated by misuse of soul. I've heard whispers that the secret these fools were searching for was immortality, to live forever. I've never heard anything so obscene. Oh boy, let me introduce you to Nine Souls. Wait, what is that YouTube message? Is that, like, YouTube itself? Like, moderation? Damn. You're welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our guidelines. That's kinda hilarious. Even YouTube's like, bro, chill. But yeah, let me introduce you to Nine Souls if you're trying to live forever. That's like the whole plot. Yeah, you're a folly that was trying to learn how to make dogs immortal. You were studying a cure to mortality for specifically dogs, and had to use yourself as a lab rat, so you turned into a folly. I like that lore. Spell Twister. Highly intelligent bug that uses arcane knowledge to twist soul into vicious spells. Ooh. Bro. Does this guy have multiple accounts? Wait, what? What happened? That wasn't 10 minutes. Oh, is that just like a warning? I get it. Derps, you do whatever you see fit. You're a mod for a reason, big guy. I've heard others talk about soul, but I do not understand what it actually is. I do know that freshly killed meat tastes best. Is that because of the soul thing still clings to it? No, I think that's just because warm stuff typically tastes better than cold stuff. Soul Warrior. Oh, poor thing. I looked at this and I'm like, oh, that's just a normal enemy. No, that's supposed to be a boss, I guess. This is a boss? You're telling me that, like, this is a boss? This isn't? That, like, this is a normal enemy? The Twister is a normal enemy, but the Warrior is, like, that's a boss? This is a boss? You make me look at this thing and that's a boss? What do you mean that's a boss? That could be classified a mini-boss at best. That's just like a bulky enemy at worst. He does look like a goon, you're right. Soul Warrior's just a goon. Yeah, learned bug wielding a refinable pin blade enhances its combat prowess with harvested soul. Where these strange warrior go, whispers follow them. Not only are they skilled with a nail, but they can also use some strange power to shift suddenly from place to place. Stay on guard. I mean, the teleportation thing, that is a little cool. I will give it that. But at the same time, the Spell Twister can do the exact same thing. All of these guys can teleport. Every single soul creature can teleport, so... That does make me wonder, why can't the knight teleport with some kind of harnessed soul? Wait, it can! No, that's dream. That's like dream essence that it uses, not soul. Why can't we learn how to teleport? What? Interesting. Your cat can take on 100 gorillas. Bro. My dog can't even take on a mouse. Soulmaster, head of the Soul Sanctum, hoarded soul hoping to stave off Hollowness' infection. Or affliction. But eventually became intoxicated by its power. The bugs of Hollowness tried all kinds of tricks and rituals and prayers to rid themselves of the infection, but to no avail. Perhaps the infection came from somewhere deep inside them that they could not escape. Poor them, they thought they could survive. They thought they were safe from the radiance? Pff, lol. It is but their own mind that they should fear. Stonefish are all bite and no bark, that is true. There's not even like an intimidation factor to them, they're just a stone in the water that kills you if you step on it. I don't think they... Actually, can they? No, I don't think they can kill you. They have a venom, but I don't think it's lethal. I might be wrong about that. I know it's extremely painful, though. Anywho. Husk Dandy. I thought that was Daddy for a second. I legitimately thought that that said Husk Daddy. What a name. It is lethal. Okay. I couldn't remember if I was just misremembering that or not. Former member of Hollownest's High Society. Limited offensive ability. It seems the weakest and greediest members of Hollownest were also the ones who exerted the most influence. Truly a kingdom that was always destined for ruin. Those are fair words to live by. The fact that the 1% runs the whole society? Fucking terrible. I'm just gonna say it. If I ever became the 1% and ended up with way more money than I knew how to spend, all of it's going to charities and helping my friends and family. I refuse to be one of those people that holds on to that much money without using it. I could never be like Elon Musk. I don't know how that fucker survives with all of that money, to be honest. That's like such a burden. At that point, he doesn't deserve the money. I mean, obviously he doesn't, but fucking hell. Bro has like billions of dollars just in his bank account or wherever. Just sitting there, doing nothing with it. Couple investments here and there, but when's he ever donated to charity? I mean, fuck that guy. Exactly. It's like the genuinely best people are almost never allowed to actually have money. Why are there poison animals and camo animals, but not a lot of both? I think you're kinda right about that. Like, Stonefish is obviously one of those. Extremely overpowered. That thing is like, you don't mess with a Stonefish, but like... Well, no, I was about to say something like Poison Dart Frog, but those don't camouflage, they're just really bright to tell you to not mess with them. You are right. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. Anyways, Cowardly Husk, former member of Hollownest's High Society. Although made aggressive by the force inside, old instincts still occasionally compel it to run from danger. The fearful, cowardly nature of these Hollownest bugs persists even after death. It almost feels shameful to chase and cut them down. It's satisfying, honestly. That's how I describe it. Yeah, Mother Nature is like a game dev. Evolution is just patches throughout history. I think it's completely fair to, refer to wildlife in the sense of, like, gaming terms. Tierzu's kinda onto something when referring to nature by, like, gaming terminology, because it does make sense. Anyways, yeah. Fuck the high society members hate these guys. You go hang out with some friends. Alright, I hope you have fun, man. And with any luck, you'll be back before you finish it. Debatable. I've been here for a while, so... It's like 50-50. I have no idea how much longer this is gonna take. Eat the rich! Yeah, baby! Let's go! Fuck the 1%! Alright. Gluttonous Husk. Former member of the Hollowness High Society, uses his corpulent body as a weapon. As these bugs become wealthier, they hunted less and consumed more, eventually taking on a grotesque shape not unlike overripe fruit. I mean, you say that, but when I think of a fruit going overripe, I immediately think of a banana, which actually shrinks when it becomes overripe. The only fruit that I can think of off the top of my head that would, like, plump up with being overripe would be, like, a watermelon, which would, kinda, like, melt inside itself, and gas would build up because there's nowhere for it to go, and, you know, eventually it could explode. I wouldn't say overweight. I think it's more of an obese kind of term. Because overweight just implies that you're, like, anything above average for your... I think it's BMI is the term that I'm looking for. Which, grotesque would be quite an overstatement. Quite an exaggeration. Gorgeous Husk. Corpulent husk encrusted with a shining metal, retains the instinct to hoard geo. There's a beauty in many things. Reflections of light and water, the taste of freshly killed meat, the cry of a hatchling for its mother. I've never understood the lust for metals and stones, though. Huh? Metals and stones. So... God, I feel like I've seen a video about what Geo is actually made out of. I don't remember what the actual conclusion was, but it definitely wasn't metal and stone. I think that just immediately confirms that it's, like, not a fossil. As a few people said. At least I saw that people said. Yeah, actually, you're right. Why is Gorgeous Husk called Gorgeous Husk when Gluttonous Husk is blatantly defined as grotesque looking? Not only is Gorgeous Husk bigger, but it's even greedier because it's literally, like, encapsulated in gold. Great Husk Sentry. Animated remains of a great sentry, the most elite of the city's guards. Wields a great nail and shell. Its powerful attacks cause heavy damage. An extremely rare thing, a bug of hollowness that actually poses a threat. Watch them carefully as they can lash out quickly with devastating strikes. Or you can just pogo it. It's pretty easy to dodge if you know how to pogo it correctly. This is, like, honestly one of the easier enemies. Did the rich really sit in liquid gold? I mean, think about the crazy stuff that ancient Egyptian pharaohs did. They had, like, a deep infatuation with gold, so... I mean, in real life, that's... I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, some people casually do that shit. They, like... Those people that will... I don't know exactly what the process is, but they turn their teeth, like, into metals and, like, diamonds and shit. The rich really do crazy shit like that. Watcher Knight. Discarded shell of a Watcher Knight, reanimated by a swarm of infected flies. So... I'm so confused about this, actually. So, the infected flies, and that, like, goop that infects the, what's it called? Broken Vessel. Like, the Broken Vessel is completely gone. There's, like, nothing actually in there anymore. Even though there's, like, implied to be in its death animation, kind of, maybe. I don't really know about that. the only thing controlling it is, like, in this case, the flies, and in Broken Vessel's case, the, like, infected goop. How does that work exactly? How many flies does it take? That's a good question. I don't think there's actually an entry for the flies, so... I don't know. When these silent warriors fall in battle, their bodies split open and strange bugs come flying out. I wonder, what will come flying out of me when I die? Will my hopes and fears drift away into the darkness? No, bro. I'm pretty sure you're just a natural creature, Hunter. I don't think anything is gonna come flying out of you. Except maybe your hopes and dreams. Maybe your hopes and dreams will fly away. That seems to be a pretty common theme with, like, visual deaths in this game. Of, like, actual NPCs and not enemies. I wonder, could you actually count the amount of flies that go into the Watcher Knights? Is that feasible, do you think? I haven't tried it. I don't remember what the animation looks like. I'm gonna leave that to anyone that thinks about it too hard. The Collector. What a creature. Dark figure locked inside the Tower of Love. Preserves Hollowness creatures in glass jars with particular attention given to grubs. A shadow that sometimes flits? That's a word I've never seen before. A shadow that sometimes flits through the caverns, making strange noises to itself. I've never seen it clearly, so I have no idea what type of creature it is. It's void. It's a void creature. I've actually seen theories about, what exactly the Collector is and why it has, like, an infatuation with grubs. I think someone said that it had, like, a relationship with one of the bugs outside of, I don't remember exactly. I think it was specifically one of the dead bugs in the Queen's Gardens. It had, like, a relationship with it. Unsure what kind of relationship, but a relationship with it, and the Collector was probably, like, tutored on how to preserve bugs and keep them in jars. So its infatuation with grubs is literally just... hoarding? Like, actual preservation? Move swiftly and lightly. Alright. I'm not insulting him. He's just... kind of... coded? I don't know. After the infection, though, he kinda lost his fucking mind. Bellfly. Look at these little cuties. I almost wish they didn't explode. Thin wings hide a highly volatile belly. Will give its own life to protect its territory. Once again, another example of an enemy that kills itself to protect something. An angry creature with no regard for its own life. A creature without fear. Can it truly be called prey? No. I think that's like an in-between. It's kind of like... I mean, what would you call it? You're also a bellfly. Alright. There's definitely some kind of classification for something like this, even if it's purely fictional. I thought that name was Philip. I almost find it funnier to call this guy Philip, so I'm gonna call him Philip. I'll say his name once, for anyone just listening. Pillflip. Philip. Odd creature that adapts to changing situations by flipping over and using the limbs on the other side of its body. Adaptability is an important survival skill. If a problem seems insurmountable, try approaching it from a different angle. Nice pun, Hunter. At least you have any amount of humor as well. Something about it being called a whormp and the way it looks in this image is hilarious to me. Tiny and placid, but swells to enormous size when threatened. Extremely amusing creature. What a fella. Literally just an air pufferfish. I love that its icon on the side there is literally just its lips. Blugsack. Placid but putrid creature, holds rancid eggs within its gut. Easily tracked down if you have a sense of smell. I strongly suggest you do not eat its eggs. I mean, it's called a rancid egg, but why is it rancid? Is it because it's infected? Things that are infected don't really rot, though. Unless it's just like a natural poison as well. Could be wrong. Dung Defender, skilled combatant living in the heart of the waterways, assails intruders with balls of compacted dung. Fighting for honor or for loyalty, you may as well be fighting for dust. If you want to kill, do it for your own sake. That is the nature of a true hunter. I mean, sure, in your own, like, twisted, mindset, sure. A true hunter, yeah, if you're killing for sport, you just do it for the name of the game, just for fun. Because why not? But, you know, I think a majority of people are not like that, so speak for yourself, I guess. White Defender, figure from a fondly remembered past. Reacts gallantly to... specifically gallantly, what the hell? Figure from a fondly remembered past. Reacts gallantly to defeat by becoming stronger. Oh, that's referring to him, like, getting harder every time that you beat him in a dream, yeah. The Champion's Call, the Knotted Grove, the Battle of the Black Worm. I remember it all. I will carry those glories with me always, until we meet again. Ogrim of the Five Nights. At Freddy's? No. Fluke Fly, not Fly, what? I totally thought that was Fluke Fly. Fluke Fay. Youngest of its species, its body is composed of teeth, wings, and stomach. Seems to want to latch onto any living thing that comes by with its sharp little teeth. It will leave its cousins alone, though, so it isn't completely mindless. Fair enough. That's, self-preservation of the species. Yeah, what would a shit fiddler be? What's that talking about? Flukemon. That is... This is, like, the clearest indication of, like, a... Pokemon ever. Fire, burn, I agree. Worm-like creature that prefers damp, dark habitats. Dangerous, unpredictable foes that infest the pipes below Hollowness Capital. Even when it seems you've killed them, you need to stay on guard. Yeah. Yeah. Flukemunga. Aged fluke. Whoa. Aged fluke, grown fat on the rich refuse found on the pipes below the capital. Or in the pipes below the capital. I find it weird that this thing isn't- well, no, it makes sense, but, like, I find it weird that this thing isn't actually necessary to complete the Hunter's Journal. Like, you don't actually need to kill this thing. It's a DLC. When predators are too successful, the surplus of food they eat becomes soft bulk wrapped around their bodies. Still, these creatures at least seem to make good use of their additional weight. See, I'm confused about how the hunter sees this then. The way that he's looking at this is completely flawed. If he acknowledges the fact that surplus of food is a sign of being a successful hunter or like creature, then why does he bully fatter creatures and call creatures like the gluttonous husk like pathetic? I don't know, that's a little confusing to me, I guess. Flukemarm. Ew. Insatiable breeder. Oh, that's even more gross. Has populated the waterways with its kind. Its insides double as a nest for young fluke fays. The desire to breed, to leave behind memory of ourselves in the shape of a child, seems to be etched deep into the heart of every living creature. I too have felt the pull of that base instinct. Well, I hope you never get to. Little shit. Hate this thing. Oh, I see. Actually, it does make more sense. I didn't really think about that part of the argument. The husks do just kind of get it delivered, so that makes sense. Shardmite. Ooh, all of these are pretty. Feeds on crystal dust and uses crystallized spines to protect itself from danger. I don't find this creature particularly notable or interesting. It should learn to fly or breathe flames or sing hauntingly. Anything to justify its existence. I mean, it's cool. Well, it doesn't need to be notable or interesting. It's just a cool little fella. It does look like a Mario enemy. You'd find this in the underground levels in a 2D game. Like, literally, like, what's it called? Something beetle. The blue ones. I think you know what I mean. Wait, no. Those ones don't have... Those ones don't have spikes. I swear there's one that does have spikes, right? I don't exactly remember right now. I might be thinking of a skeletal spiny. Honestly, I'm probably thinking about a skeletal spiny. I think that's exactly what I'm thinking about right now. It's like that, though. Glimback. Slow, hardy creature. The crystals that grow on its back provide extra protection from foes above. Large and well protected, but slow and docile. The bugs of Hollownest used to force these creatures to carry around their carts and machines. They're literally like horses. I see why. Crystal Hunter. Fires shards of fast-growing crystal at intruders. Make their homes all the way at the top of the world. Do they use crystals willingly as weapons, or are they merely hosts of the crystal parasites? Huh? What does that mean? Like... Are they merely hosts of the crystal's parasites? By... What do you mean by parasites? The crystals are, like, alive to some extent? What? I mean, I guess I kind of get it in context of the enemy, because the shards it shoots at you kind of expand upon touching anything. So I guess I get that part, but... Doesn't parasite imply that it's living to some extent? Interesting little fella. Crystal Crawler. Wow. If the crystals are parasites, this thing is gone. Discharges searing beams of light from the crystals on its back as it crawls around, seemingly unaware. These creatures look weak, but sometimes burning pillars of heat will burst from the crystal they carry on their backs. Be wary and time your strikes well. You can't kill this thing with normal strikes, though. You can only kill this with spells, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I just haven't ever hit it at the right angle, though. Could be wrong. Husk Miner. Remains of a bug drawn... A bug. Wow, dyslexia's kinda shooting me in the face right now. Remains of a bug drawn to the crystal peak for its precious crystal. Its claw pick now doubles as a fierce weapon. Bugs of Hollowness lusted after the strangest things in life. They would dig furtively? Yeah, that's T and that's T before I. Okay, interesting. They would dig furtively through the dirt for stone, ore, and in particular the crystals that grow at the top of the world. Poor Mila. That is what Minecraft YouTubers like. You're so right about that. A+, 100%. Crystallized Husk. Remains of a bug who died amongst the crystals, animated by a strange force. It attacks by firing beams of light from its crystallized arms. There's some strange power hidden in the crystals that grow up there in the peaks. They gleam and glow in the darkness, a bright point of searing heat in each one. They sing too if you listen very softly. I don't really know what to say about that one. Like, the way the beams work makes a bit of sense. I don't know where the light exactly comes from, but... This is just a spitball. This is just something I came up with, so I could be completely wrong, but if I was a prehistoric, hominid, I'd probably, eventually you'd probably discover that you could use certain crystals as, like, magnifiers for sunlight. And I'd probably use, crystals as a way to create fire. I think that's, like, an actual way to do it. I mean, I guess it's a bit obvious. If you condense the light and heat of the sun to a certain point, yeah, and that's one of the most natural ways to do it. So that, like, I guess that's how that would work, but I don't know where the light would come from that creates the beams. It'd also need to be a lot of light to create such a large laser, so... something for sure to think about. Crystal Guardian. Wait, what if it came from inside themselves, because they're infected with the radiance? The radiance, like, creates the beams, because it's literally, like, light, or what- okay. That's a shot in the dark, but sure, maybe. Crystal Guardian. Heavy set miner of the Crystal Peak, overcome by crystal growth. Can discharge blazing beams of light from its crystallized limbs. How does the world look to this creature, gazing out from within its crystal prison? Does it see only light? What drives it into a frenzy? Or is that what drives it into a frenzy? I still don't know why this is also a boss. It has, like, 2 forms, which is very boss-like, but it goes down so easily. I've heard there's people that have struggled on Crystal Guardian. Like, I've seen maybe one Reddit post at some point where someone was like, hey, any tips on Crystal Guardian? I'm, like, eating shit. But they were also, like, extremely early into the game. They, like, went to Crystal Peak immediately after City of Tears and had, like, no upgrades. So, I mean, I'd understand in that position, but this guy's so fucking easy. How is this a boss? Furious Vengefly. Vengefly whose body has been distorted by continued infection, highly aggressive. So, is this just an infected adult Vengefly? Because we see, like, the little ones, and those are just called Vengeflies, but this is called a Furious Vengefly. Not like a Vengefly King or anything like that, just like a Vengefly. Bit confused about that. Maybe it's a adolescent Vengefly King? The infection that passes from creature to creature grants strength and courage, but it also seems to enslave the will. Would you make such a bargain? No. I mean, who would? It's at the cost of your very will, and in most cases, your life. The infection is willing to completely discard the host in order to secure more bodies. Kind of a toxic cycle, if you ask me. It's, I don't know. Probably a bit flawed. Like, the Furious Vengeflies, when you kill them, the way that, like, it works, that they throw themselves at you with the intent to infect you, but ultimately they fail at their goal, usually, and nothing comes of it, so they just, like, aggroed you very hard, lost the host, and died for literally nothing. Like a valiant effort, but nothing came out of it, so... I guess that's just nature. Sometimes it works, other times it doesn't. Volatile Gruzzer. Gruzzer's swollen with infection and primed to burst. Horrible goo and noxious gas has started leaking down from above. Is there a source of all this pestilence? If so, I haven't seen it. Horrible goo and noxious gas. Is that just infection? I mean, I get the goo part, but gas? What? Also, I'll acknowledge it since you're probably not gonna let me just glaze over it. I'm trying to keep the, mood a bit lighter. I don't really want to talk about something like that while the mood is anywhere near decent. Hope that's understandable. Violent Husk. Maddened by massive infection, charges at enemies with no thought for its own preservation. I mean, no thought for preservation is one way to put it. It's, it literally... It's another bomb. This is another living bomb. The bugs of Hollowness were twisted out of shape by that ancient sickness. First they fell deep into deep slumber, then they awoke with broken minds, and then their bodies started to deform. It sounds like those, like, infection AUs that you see everywhere, or that... I guess they kinda died down a bit, but that, everyone raved about for some amount of time. Literally, like, the exact same thing. Or at least the premise. But this predates those, I think, for the most part. It is also just how an infection usually works, so... whatever. Slobbering Husk. Wait, did I read the last? I did, yeah. The body of a bug, completely consumed by infection, spits corrosive liquid. The infection that swept through Hollowness so long ago, and they say that the harder you struggled against it, the more it consumed you. I don't really see how that works. Dirt Carver. Hated these things. And the, and the Carver Hatcher hated both of these things. Evil creatures. Swarming predator of the deep nest. Burrows through the ground and bursts out to surprise prey. Springy and vicious, these hunters will try to overwhelm you with numbers in the dark, tight, twisting caverns they carve through in the ground. Always be on your guard. Hate these things. Especially early game, they're so annoying. They take so many hits to kill if you don't have an upgraded nail. Carver Hatcher. Flying creature that fires out dirt carvers from its body when potential prey comes close. How does that work? What? When potential prey comes close, it like shoots another creature out of its body to attack it, but then it'll have to share the spoils with the dirt carver. Why? Sure, I guess. Are these creatures the mothers of the dirt carvers? They appear only loosely related, but then how did the dirt carvers get inside the hatchers? A confusing situation. That is another valid point. Are they symbiotic or something? What is this interesting ass? All right, sure. You know what? We'll go with it. Garpede. I just got like a phantom touch. What the hell? I thought the dog was in the room and just like tried to jump up on my chair. Is YouTube like restricting your messages for some reason? I mean, it shouldn't be. This is another reason why YouTube's kind of stinky in that regard. That doesn't really happen on Twitch. But yeah. You just be persistent. Eventually, it'll go through. I'm sure. Garpede, giant burrower covered in thick shell plates, tirelessly travels the tunnels of the deep nest. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I keep thinking that these should be pluralized. It's not like there's multiple deep nests. Monstrously strong, they shrug off any attacks you make on their thickly armored bodies. Luckily, if you simply avoid their paths, they'll leave you alone. They don't mess with you even if you do mess with them. They have, like, telegraphed pathing. Maybe YouTube's just flagging your message as, like, spam. That could be how it's treating it. Like, you're repeating a message multiple times, and it's just not happy that you're doing that. Did I... Yeah. Corpse Creeper. Parasitic beast that controls the body of its host after the host's death. The beasts of this land have found plenty of ingenious hiding places, but none so clever as the body of another creature. If you happen on such a beast, I think that's supposed to be a pawn. If you happen upon such a beast, rejoice. You've hunted 2 creatures at once. Deepling. Infant of the Deep Nest. Oh, Infant of the Deep Nest. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's an infant in Deep Nest. Infant of the Deep Nest scuttles about in the darkness, learning the layouts of its home. The Deep Nest is a dangerous place to hunt, but rewarding. Keep an eye out for weaker creatures you can pick off and eat. Keep your strength up in the darkness. Derpling. It does look a little derpy. If it had eyes, I'm sure they'd be, looking away from each other. Deep Hunter. Crawls along walls and roofs, spitting burning venom at anything that passes by. They can be hard to spot as they flitter in and out of the darkness. Watch for their glowing eyes. I hate these things. I'm pretty sure this stupid dickhead resulted in an actual death in my first playthrough. Which is painful. I think it was to get that, one grub in the, like, horseshoe spike room. I don't remember exactly where that is, but... quite mean. And it's, like, unkillable unless you sacrifice a bit of soul for it. Obviously not really a big deal for an experienced player, but having gone to Deep Nest pretty early, that was kinda stinky. Yeah, burn it might be a bit, like, too negative for YouTube's ghost algorithm. Little Weaver. Holy shit, looking at this thing, I don't know why, but I suddenly pieced together that this thing looks a lot like Hornet for some reason. It looks exactly like the, like that one sprite or animation of Hornet backpedaling in Silksong. When she goes on all fours and starts, like, running around. It looks exactly like that. It's got the red cape and it's got the legs. I mean, Hornet's a weaver, obviously, but... wow. The resemblance is stunning on this one. Little Weaver. Nimble spider that traverses its domain on thin strands of web, often waits in ambush. They can appear from the darkness at any moment. They seem to fly through the air, dancing on invisible strings as they silently stalk prey. Stalking Devout. I hate these. One of my least favorite enemies. Why does Hornet need clothing? Good question. I don't think she needs clothing, but it's probably more of a fashion or protective thing. Same way that people use clothing. Worshippers of Hera the Beast shield themselves with hard-plated foreclaws and lash out suddenly to cut down prey. These are Hera worshippers. They worshipped Hera? I feel like worshipping implies that Hera was, like, a religious figure. But then again, Trump supporters like to worship Trump, so... yeah, it's whatever. I mean, it's basically a religion, so take that how you will. Powerful, well-armored, and fast. These are no more beasts... or... what? These are no... oh, no mere. Jeez. Dyslexia is actually starting to kick in the longer I read. Yikes. Powerful, well-armored, and fast. These are no mere beasts. Study their movements and watch carefully for an opening. Hey, it's the guy! Nusk! Mimics the shape of other creatures to lure prey to its lair. In the deepest darkness, there are beasts who wear faces stolen from your memories and pluck at the strings in your heart. Know yourself and stay strong. I'm kinda confused about how this guy really works, especially in, Godhome, like Winged Nosk. Because it says that it steals faces from your memories and plucks at the strings of your heart, so, like, it uses those faces to entice you to follow because you care about the thing that it's mimicking. So... the knight cares about Hornet, right? That's what this implies? Humans use clothing to not get arrested? Okay. In the modern era, that's one reason. In the past, it was primarily used for general protection and, well, protection from the cold as well. Yeah, Norse Sentinels still have light, clothing. They're also in a pretty hot place in the world, so they don't really need clothing for protection. if, like, I don't know, random example, like, early Siberians, for example, anyone that was in Siberia before, like, the modern era, that shit gets fucking cold. So, you're gonna want clothing to not freeze to death out there. So, clothing has a bunch of uses. It's fashion, there's protection, cold protection, you know, general protection, I mean more like armor. There's a whole bunch of uses for it. Cultural signification, as you said, it can show ranks among people. There's a whole lot of ways that you use it, and that's shown here as well. Like, just one example is the wealthy bugs in Hollow Nest all had the red shell. That's probably not really something they were born with, but something that they acquired through wealth. Everything else is kind of just laws at this point. Like, oh, you go outside naked, that's indecent exposure, it's seen as a taboo, that's a man-made thing, it's not actually really weird or anything, we kind of made it weird. But within, like, the confines of your own home, you could still just wander around naked, plenty of people do it. I think the way that we treat nudity is stupid, but in general, clothing I wouldn't say is stupid at all. Yeah. I wear clothes inside, I mean, even if I was alone, inside, because, it's just comfortable. It makes me feel less exposed. It's like a blanket. It's like having a blanket on during bedtime, you know? You get under the covers and suddenly you feel a lot safer. Even if you're a bit warm, or like too warm, you don't particularly like uncovering yourself. It makes you feel a bit more exposed. I think that's a natural thing. It's like that. That's how I feel about it. Shadow Creeper. This thing is cute. Found only in deep, dark places, has never been observed to eat or drink anything. This little creeper is weak and poses no threat, but something about it still unsettles me. The way it moves and the noises it makes are strange somehow. Is this a little void creature, maybe? It might be made of void, that might be why it's weird. Yeah, everyone's different. That's why I say that people are just allowed to be nude in their own confines. Some people feel more comfortable when nude, other people don't. It's really just a person-to-person basis. That's not personally how I feel, but it's not like you're wrong for feeling it because... or feeling differently because I feel one way. That's just not how it works. Lesser Malwick. This guy's, like, pretty cute. Attacks by spitting acid and slashing with its foreclaws. If you try to keep your distance, it will spit sticky, burning globs of vile stomach juice. Move in quickly and strike decisively. I feel like this thing literally acts like the brooding Malwick, like, exactly. You get close to it and it swipes at you, but, like, you'll have to jump over it because it's smaller and it's not spitting stuff at you, but you're farther away and it's gonna start spitting at you. It's literally just a mini Malwick. I like this thing's design. I fuck with tiny little Malwick. Maw-lurk. Large immobile creature, wildly spits venom when intruders pass by. How did this foolish creature lose its legs? I suppose it's possible to lose anything if you really try. I think that's an evolution thing. Okay, that's just mean. How is putting on headphones an L? I wear headphones constantly. I get ear infections regularly because of that. Yeah, common derps W. Yeah, let's go. He stays winning. Brooding Malwick, the guy, the one. Ferocious but extremely social creature, becomes aggressive if not able to mingle with its own kind. So basically, cats. Yep, it's in heat. I hear this beast crying out sometimes as I prowl the caverns, although I've never actually laid eyes on it. Who or what is it calling for? As far as I can tell, its voice is never answered. Poor fella. Light Seed. Ah yes, this is the thing that infects the broken vessel. Wait. Is it the infected... Is it the infected balloon or the light seed that infects the broken vessel? Is an infected balloon a bunch of light seeds, or is, like, the goop on broken vessel just a bunch of light seeds that combined into that goop? What? Because it looks like an infected balloon. Okay, I just gotta read through these, maybe, yeah. A single-celled organism completely infected, scurries about simple-mindedly. Strange air has been seeping down from above for years. Some of the air became liquid, and some of that liquid became flesh, and some of that flesh came to life. I don't know what to make of it. I wouldn't know what to make of it either. Infected balloon. Single cell of infection has a simple mind and can float using internal gases. The infection creeping through the kingdom's dead veins. Does it have any mind? Does it produce soul? Is it truly alive? So it's an infected balloon then? The infected balloon is what infects the broken vessel. But also the animation for, like, broken vessel getting up is a bunch of light seeds jumping, like, into the skull of, or like the mask, the head of broken vessel. The infected balloons are only, like, a part of the fight. I don't know. I'm thinking that the seeds turn into balloons, and then the balloon is, like, kind of like a hive mind of light seeds. Like a big glob of light seeds that can float. Very interesting here. Broken vessel, shattered corpse, reanimated by infected parasites. That doesn't even help. The shape of this creature, I've seen something like it before, more than once perhaps. It looks a little like the bugs of Hollowness, but not quite the same. Where did these empty little wanderers come from? It just says infected parasites, so is it a combination? Like, what does that mean? What do you mean, infected parasites? The light seed or the infected balloon? It looks like the balloon, but the animation is light seeds. Is it light seeds coming together to form a balloon on top of, like in Broken Vessel's shell? Huh. Boofly. Large, docile creature that peacefully buzzes around in the caverns of Kingdom's Edge. Too slow to escape you and too large to hide from you. This prey will not challenge you, but sometimes it is good to take things easy. Thinking too deep? I feel like I'm thinking too deep as well. This thing is cute, though. Boofly? Ooh, it's gonna turn invisible when I look at it. Primal Aspid. Worst enemy in the game. Wilder ancestral form of the Aspid. Once thought extinct, they have reappeared at the edge of the world. Let's make them extinct. These cruel foes will ambush you and relentlessly attack you with their searing venom. How strange that their descendants are so weak. If I have children, I hope they will be stronger than me. I hope you don't have children. Like, do not repopulate, bro. Hopper. Leaps at prey and uses its sharp proboscis to drain vital fluids. That is another mosquito. I hate it already. This hopping thief's belly is full of the blood it has stolen from other beasts. If you hold it above a fire, the belly will grow and grow until it explodes in a steaming shower of fluids. You know, ironically you say that, but I'm pretty sure Primal Aspids are one of the prime killers in Steel Soul runs. Great Hopper leaps around the edge of the world trying to crush prey beneath its body. A worthy foe, surprisingly nimble for its size. Either keep your distance or try to dance between its hops and strike at its legs. The resemblance is uncanny. Yeah, fuck these guys. Never mind, not funny anymore. Yeah, it isn't funny anymore. You know, these guys were never funny to begin with. Hate these guys. You gotta experience the pain of dealing with the Primal Aspid in order to understand why they're so disliked. Just watching it really doesn't do it justice. Grub Mimic. What an evil creature. Assumes the shape of a harmless creature to lure prey. Luring an enemy close by pretending to be a weak... I thought I saw a deer. Luring an enemy close by pretending to be a weak little grub. Very cunning. Unfortunately for them, I eat these grubs as soon as I see them. Yucky. I am currently, in vocal pain. I'll be right back. I need to get a drink. I'm like... It's been over 2.5 hours, and my voice is starting to give out from all the reading. I need another, fill of hydration so that I don't, like, actually hurt myself on accident, so I'll be right back. Say, chat, I thought about something. Where'd the myth of salt making you thirstier come from? Hmm. What are you yapping about? Like, fill a bottle and not just a glass? Our cups are large enough that it can sustain you for like an hour. As long as you don't chug it. Mm. I also got a bit of beef jerky that I can snack on. Cause I'm a little hungry. You chug it, that's... Sure, you do you. As long as it doesn't hurt you. Mm. Alright. Hiveling. Smallest of the hive's inhabitants, carries out simple tasks. Weak but hard-working and numerous. Their hairy little bodies are filled with thick, sweet golden liquid. Good to keep a few on you for long hunts. My mouse is purple. Yes, my cursor is purple. What does it mean by sweet golden liquid? Honey? Are they full of honey? I mean, I guess fair enough if they eat it, but I don't think bees typically eat the honey. Hive Soldier. Defends the hive against intruders with its extendable stinger. Savage and dedicated warriors. Be prepared to fight them to the death if you plan on invading their home. I mean, I'll say they're formidable. Little assholes is what they are. They turn into... I mean, I don't know how they do it, but they just turn into giant stingers. Kinda crazy. Imagine seeing a bee and you're like, oh look, cute bee. And bro turns into an actual, like, living spike. That's crazy. Scary ass little creature. People with needle fears? Bro, me. I actually have a phobia of needles. Like a deep phobia. I'm turning 20, and just the thought of going to, like, a doctor's office for, the word's leaving me right now. Immunizations? Yeah. I'd rather die. like, on the spot, then go into a doctor's office and get shots. Something like the flu shot, just kill me with it. Just let me die from the flu at that point. I would rather. Honestly, experiencing death from the flu would be less terrifying than getting stabbed with a needle. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know what caused the trauma, or if it's completely irrational. I mean, I think it's completely irrational, but I just can't handle it. I don't know what it is. I love bees, they're adorable, but I am terrified of them. I like the self-awareness, only chat's bullshit. I mean, I've still got a bit left here, so, I mean, I'm willing to pause. It benefits me, so... I'll pause for a second if, you need me to. I guess, for now. Ooh, boo! Big scary. But yeah, something like sewing, I don't think I could do, because working with a needle like that. Hmm. I really don't know why. It's not even that bad. Like, I've been stung by a bee before. It stings, yeah, but it's really not that bad. My one experience was like, I think I was 4 years old. I was sticking my hand in one of those like water pipes that you'd see outside, like almost a faucet. And there was a beehive in it. I was told not to like 80 times, but you know, little dumbass didn't listen. I got stung by a bee. And it wasn't even that painful. I just overreacted because it spooked me. So it's not even like the stings are incredibly bad, or anything like that. Like, even shots, it's like, once I actually get them done, and it happens, it's not that bad. I'm like, oh, that was pretty easy. The worst experience with a shot I've ever had in my life was getting my blood drawn. Or, I think it was the first time I ever got my blood drawn. It's not supposed to feel like the initial stab throughout the whole experience, but during that shot, for some reason, during this blood draw, it felt like the initial shot the entire time. I was told that it's because I tensed up, but I acted the exact same way during the second time I ever got a blood draw, and it disappeared so fast that by the time it was over, by the time it was almost over, I was opening my eyes like, is this shit done yet? Because I didn't feel it. I don't know what happened, but like, experiences like that first blood draw are exactly what makes me terrified of them. It feels random because of that. Sometimes it's not terrible, other times it's like the worst feeling you've ever felt in your entire life. Yeah, they just don't rub me the right way. Like, obviously, I would never say no to getting vaccinated or anything like that, because very, very important. But, God, do I hate getting it done. Like, I don't think I could get myself to go alone. When I go in the future, I'm gonna have to, like, have Allie sit next to me and hold my hand and shit. Like a little kid. Because I can't handle it, I just can't. It's such a daunting fear that I've never been able to get over. Hmm. Thankfully, I've never had to get strapped down. I decided that I'm better than that. So I, like... I don't want to say manned up, but... I faced my fears and went through it like a big boy. I always got suckers after, so it's not all bad. I think the only reason it's not to that point is because ultimately, I know that the needle's, like, it's good for me. Like, I'm getting poked for my benefit. And I know that, so it kind of eases it a little bit. Like, it's still completely irrational how badly I react to it. Like, I'm pretty sure the last time I got a shot, I straight up cried. Which, that doesn't happen much if you know me personally. It's kind of hard to get me to straight up cry. But, yeah, it's, ultimately I know they're good for me, so I struggle my way through it. Get it done. It's rough, but once it's done, it's not so bad. I'm like, wow, why did I react that way? How many entries do we have left? I assume only a couple dozen. Yeah, not many. I remember the last time I cried. It was because Allie left, like, they were going home from their visitation here. I think that's the last time I cried. Which was... I mean, well over a year ago at this point, like a year, 2 months. One last bite and then I'll continue. Aw. That's pretty sad. I'm glad she's okay, though. That's what matters. I wish our pets didn't have to die. Actually, instead of just, like, putting this on my desk, I'm gonna put it in the garbage. Hold on. Alright. We can continue now. Yeah, I get it. But that does also mean she has, like, the lowest chance of getting so sickly that it's lethal, so... I mean... generally. Alright. Hive Guardian. Protects the hive by hurling its huge body at intruders. Like their smaller kin, their only instinct is to protect the hive at any cost to themselves. Somewhat clumsy, they'll often damage the structure of the hive when charging at intruders. Does this cause them shame? I do not know whether they have the capacity for such a thing. Damn, One Piece is good enough to cry over? Shit. I wish I had the time for that. To be emotionally invested in something like that. Also, the Hive Guardian doesn't sting you, so I wouldn't really be afraid of it. Like, the one bee that I'm not scared of is the Bumblebee, because although I'm pretty sure they do have stingers, actually I'm like 99% sure they do, they don't really use it, like, ever on anything. But, yeah. I think I'd be fine with Hive Guardians. It's not like... I mean, they probably could hurt me if they're like the actual size of a bee, like just a really big bee. If they hurled themselves at you, they could hurt you, yeah. You ever been hit by a fucking butterfly? Those things are mean. That's a sharp pain. So yeah, you could probably get fucked up by a Hive Guardian in real life if they're insect sized, but still not as bad as Needle to me. Not even close. Hit by a butterfly? Yeah, I've had a couple butterflies fly into me, straight up killed themselves doing so. Mean bastards. Allie has a deep phobia of butterflies, or flapping in general, and this applies to, like, moths, butterflies, stuff like that. I understand it after that experience, to be honest. Fuckers are real mean. Pretty, but mean. Husk Hive. Cowardly husk. Its body colonized by hivelings. Did the hivelings build their nest around this sorry bug, or did the bug squeeze its body into their nest? Either way, they seem happy enough together. Aw. Hive Knight. You're certainly a creature. Why are all of the other bees quadrupeds, but Hive Knight isn't? Hive Knight, loyal protector of the Hive's queen, flightless but ferocious in battle. Some creatures are born with duties and loyalties marked indelibly upon their minds. They are strong, but they are also slaves. Every single bee is a slave. Even the queen only has one job. All bees have their roles. They're all basically slaves to their own roles. They're literally born to do one thing. Or like with one job. Spiny Husk. Overgrown with vegetation, attacks by firing sharp spines from its body. The spines they fire seem to be mildly poisonous. Don't use them to clean between your fangs after eating. I mean, they're orange, right? So it's infectious. Mario reference again. This is the third spiny joke this stream, let's go. Loodle. Hate these guys. Inhabits the wilds beside the Queen's Gardens. Not aggressive in nature, but its wild bouncing behavior can be dangerous. It seems like their energy is limitless. Do they ever stop to sleep, or eat, or love? I don't think this thing knows it's alive. Lurks amongst the foliage. Mantis petra lurks amongst the foliage and attacks by flinging wind scythes from a distance. They will harass you from afar, so get close and strike quickly. Their bodies are brittle and will easily fall to your nail. What's your opinion on a random fly committing suicide for no reason? I mean, when it's on my body, it feels like vindictive. But some of them just do that. I don't think they really have the cognitive function to think about that. Mantis Trader. Once a member of the Mantis tribe, now cast out and driven mad by infection. Belonging to a tribe, or not belonging. Or, belonging to a tribe or not belonging. I don't really understand what the difference is, or how it works. I have no tribe of my own. Lonely bastard. Traitor Lord. Deposed Lord of the Mantis tribe. Yeah, that is deposed. Embraced the infection and turned against his sisters. I have felt that desire, the desire to take the infection into myself, to become stronger, more powerful. Those thoughts haunt my dreams during the darkest times. A false hope, but it can burn so brilliantly in one's mind. It's like, I can understand the mindset, but at the point where he took it in, he knew what the effects of it were. He knew that he was gonna, like, lose his mind, right? I don't really get the decision-making here. How is the desire for strength so strong that you're willing to lose yourself for it? I don't know, that's kinda sad. Sharp Boulder. Hardened boulder, bred for battle in the Colosseum of Fools. Tougher and more aggressive than its wild ancestor. These creatures, I've never seen one fully grown. I suppose they aren't allowed to live long enough to become adults. Damn, I'd never really thought about that. There's like these tiny ones, but you never actually see a adult sharp boulder, huh? Probably would be pretty terrifying. Armored Squid. Hardened squid bred for battle in the Colosseum of Fools, tougher and more aggressive than its wild ancestor. Strong and quick, when they rear back, either move out of the way or prepare to strike back. Battle Obel. Raised in the Colosseum, although trained for combat, its movements and attacks are still haphazard. They have crafted a tiny mask for it. Such an extravagance practical, is such an extravagance practical, I wonder? It is not. Oblobble. Larger cousin of the Obel, pairs with a mate for life and will never leave its side. That's so cute. And also sad, considering you kill multiple of them. Having a mate by your side, one that will never leave you until death. Strange. No mate has ever come forth to stay by my side. Lol, he's an incel confirmed. Oh yeah, it would be cool if one of them ended up being a boss. I think that would have been a better boss in, like, the back alleyway of the Colosseum, like how you leave it on the other end. There's a thing here. No, I just don't see it. But, that, like, weird fella back there that hoards a key, that would have been a better boss than, I mean, that. Don't really know why they didn't go with that, to be honest. Shielded Fool. Warrior fighting for glory in the Colosseum of Fools. Warily approaches opponents with shell held high. That Colosseum... I passed him twice? What? Oh yeah, he's right here. I did. Yeah, that would have been a better boss than this guy. That Colosseum is a strange place where some bugs fight each other to the death and others watch. I don't understand such obscure rituals. If you venture in, stay on guard at all times. Sturdy Fool. Warrior fighting for glory in the Colosseum of Fools uses crescent-shaped blades to cut down foes. If you can hit this warrior spinning weapons out of the air, straight back into them. Or, you can, yeah. Useful if they manage to corner you. Winged Fool. Warrior fighting for glory in the Colosseum of Fools. Flies just out of an opponent's reach, then darts in for the kill. What do they hope for, these warriors fighting in the Colosseum? Are they slaves or prisoners? Do they freely choose to fight? Imagine with how many of them there are, I can't imagine that they're all actually willingly doing this, right? I mean, that seems obvious. Heavy Fool. Warrior fighting in the for the glory in the Colosseum of Fools aggressively charges down foes. Large, bulky, and fighting for its life. Don't underestimate this fighter. It can slither around quickly despite its bulk. It also has a surprisingly beautiful face beneath its mask. Oh, thanks. We never see it. Thanks for noting that, Hunter. Death Loodle. Loodle equipped with a helmet and taught to kill. They seem fierce, but they have a lot of difficulty aiming at their target. Watch their motions and strike when the opportunity comes. Take their helmet with you as a trophy. That would be a cool trophy item, I think. Volt Twister. Learned bug that adapted the teachings of the Soul Sanctum into a deadly fighting art. Attacks with bursts of electricity. Supposedly lives on a diet of lumaflies and spends its entire life fighting in the arena or meditating in seclusion. An odd foe. That is an odd foe. God Tamer. Veteran warrior of the Colosseum of Fools, fights by the side of creatures she has trained. Some hunters train beasts to join them, chasing down prey. I tried it once, but couldn't resist the urge to test my companion's strength against mine. That's just... mean. I think the Heavy has a face as good looking as mine? Bro. God Tamer should have a different name. I think it's just like a show name. I don't think it's like an actual name. It's like their screen name, you know? I bet the bug has a pretty cute name, actually. Like, she named it something like Sprinkles. That'd fit pretty well, actually. Pale Lurker, forgotten champion of the Colosseum, drawn away by strange obsessions. This odd creature is unaffected by and unaware of the disease drifting through the caverns. Its madness is all its own. So this thing isn't infected, it's just like that? What the hell? Ah, the shitter. Fuck this guy. A self-proclaimed knight of no renown. Wields a nail he carved from shellwood named Life Ender. Some rare creatures are so weak, so helpless, and so inept, some rare creatures are so weak, so helpless, so inept, and so irritating that hunting them gives no pleasure. Yeah, Zout goes to the very bottom. Very lowest circle of hell. Fuck this guy. All the way down. He's got a special room. Grey Prince Zoat. Figment of an obsessed mind. Lacks grace but becomes stronger with every defeat. My love, any creature who could bear to be away from you, who would willingly leave you for or say any unkind things to you. Pah, lowly maggots not worthy of standing in your glorious shadow. She felt her cold body grow warm, a sensation she had almost forgotten. The Grey Prince, chapter 112. What? Winged Zoatling. Figment of an obsessed mind, grudgingly assists its master in combat by lazily flying towards its foes. Oh god. There's more to that. She asked whether he had bought the charm for her as he promised he would, but then he explained. The charm was actually of low quality and not worth the price asked. She understood the wisdom of his decision perfectly. Hopping Zoatling. Figment of an obsessed mind, jumps about in a non-threatening manner. That lowly mapmaker's wife? My queen, how could you compare yourself to her? In the face of your intoxicating beauty, all other females are merely dust. The Grey Prince trembled with anger and indignation and love. I mean, I guess that's kind of spitting. Volatile Zoatling. Figment of an obsessed mind deals poorly with the pressure of existing and quickly explodes. Wait, I love that one. The Great Prince was a wanderer by nature, but she could not bear to be separated from him, so she devised a plan to make sure that she and her prince would be together always. She always has to wait for her chance. Or she only had to wait for her chance. The Great Prince, chapter 205. Oh, we're off the Zotes, let's go. 0. Lingering dream of a fallen warrior, executed for crimes against the king. A life defined by tragedy and triumph, a death marred by sorrow and regret, a spirit burdened by sins and memories. Better to wander the world than be cursed with glory. 0. Poor guy. I mean, he was kinda right to defy the king. Guy was kind of foul. Gorb! 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 Lingering dream of a fallen warrior, a mysterious life form that claimed to contain all of the world's knowledge inside of its distented brain. I am Gorb. Gorb. Elder Who. Lingering dream of a fallen warrior, traveled the world tending to those affected by the plague. Never forget what once was lost, yet do not let it tie you down, Elder Who. Aw, such wisdom. It kinda sucks that you're a pretty mid-boss. Marmu. Lingering dream of a fallen warrior, protector of the Queen's Gardens. If you believe in something as hard as you can, with your eyes shut tight, eventually it will come true. Marmu. Aw. No Eyes. Lingering dream of a fallen warrior, disappeared during the plague. They're coming. What's inside of you? Strip it out. No Eyes. Maybe you should take your meds. Ever thought about that, No Eyes? Take your meds. Galleon. Lingering dream of a fallen warrior, trained in the wilds bordering the kingdom, hoping to become a knight. A knight strives not only to protect the land and its people, but the hopes and dreams of the kingdom. Galleon. Okay, Undyne, chill out. You want to give a speech about how you're not gonna die that quickly next? Markoth. Ew. Lingering dream of a fallen warrior, only member of his forgotten tribe to take up a weapon. May your efforts lead you somewhere worthy. Markoth. Holy shit, the Grimkins have... Alright, sure. Oh, I think I'm missing one. There's I never fought one of the third ones, so I guess I don't have that entry. Grimkin Novice. Once a young and playful member of the Grim Troop, as part of the ritual, it gathers scarlet flame within its torch. It will relinquish the flame once defeated. Shadows dream of endless fire, flames devour and embers swoop. One will light the nightmare's lantern, call and serve in Grim's dread troop. Huh. I thought that icon wasn't Grim, but I thought it was Hornet. I can't be the only one that thought that initially. Grimkin Master. Powerful and devoted member of the Grim Troop. As part of the ritual, it gathers scarlet flame within its torch. It will relinquish the flame once defeated. A spark of red light's darkest dream. Scarlet nightmares, bright and wild. Visions dance and flames do speak. Burn the father, feed the child. So... I'm a little confused about these. They kind of radiate as if they're dreamy, but yeah, because it's like the orbs around them are the same. They're the same like dream catchers, but just a different color. So are these dream creatures? Or are they mounted in reality somehow? Nightmares. That actually makes a lot of sense. Red equals nightmare, and then like the golden is a dream. Huh. I'm assuming there's a Nightmare King Grim entry, and I just don't have it because I never fought him outside of Godhome. Grim, master of the Grim Troop. Through dream I travel at lantern's call to consume the flames of a kingdom's fall. Grim. Bars. Nailmasters Oro and Mato, brothers of the Nail, trained in combat by the great Nail Sage. Gods by toil and nail-bound, brothers sworn to guard the weak. Masters of the sacred ground, help us find the god we seek. Prayer to the masters. Man, if only they got over their, their, like, bro breakup in reality. Paint Master Shio, the guy. Skilled and respected master of the nail, always eager to learn new things. O God-inspired, master of arts, whose works shall what the hell? Whose works shall eternal endure, peer beyond our minds and hearts, reveal to us the God most pure. Prayer to the artist. Real. Also, I do kind of agree, these two are literally identical. The only thing I can note at all is that the headbands on one of them looks smaller in this image, but that's just angle. I think the only way you can actually tell who's who is, by the nail art they use in battle. Great Nail Sage Sly, legendary sage of the nail arts, and recently, merchant of some success. Sagely god of the cunning and bold, sharpen our nails and show us the odds. O greatest of masters, we wish to behold, that one still greater, the god of gods. Prayer to the sage. Huh. Even Sly, you can't tell them apart. Yeah, you're right. They're all identical, completely. There's nothing different about any of them. Not a single thing. Look at this guy. With his red and gray. Wing mold. A fly-like construct formed of white shell and a dark liquid interior. The bugs of Hollowness believed that their king created this world and everything in it. For what purpose, I wonder? Were his subjects companions? Or toys? Or children? Such a mind seems unknowable. Royal Retainer. The most loyal and devout servants of the king. Simple, weak creatures find strength by forming a hive and obeying a ruler. Such creatures become the arms and teeth and claws of their monarch. That's one way to put it. King's Mold. Guard construct of Hollownest's palace and skilled wielder of the curved claw blade. Its heavy white armor protects a fragile body. They say the old king died long ago, but his influence echoes around us still. A creature like that, what did he desire? I mean, clearly a kingdom eternal. That's really about all that's important there. Sibling, let's go! Fragment of a lingering will. Far down below us, beneath the kingdom, the air grows stiller and a sense of emptiness pervades. Can life flourish down there? If so, I will hunt it. I mean, you say that like you could enter the void. Or I guess the abyss specifically. But I don't think he could. He didn't have the seal. This is more just like ramblings of someone just guessing. They will hunt you, Hunter. I'd like to see him try. Someone make a fan-made Hunter fight so that I can beat his ass. Void tendrils. This being an entry is certainly an interesting decision. Fragments of void taking the shape of sharp, thrashing tendrils. The bugs of Hollowness sometimes wondered whether there were other older stranger kingdoms deep below them. What strange fancies they had. That's probably why they were always so distracted and easy to kill. And you don't wonder that either? Okay, sure, I guess. Shaw! Hornet. Skilled protector of Hollowness ruins, wields a needle and thread. I've seen this nimble little creature. I thought her prey and pounced at her, but with a flash she stabbed me with her flying stinger and darted away. Could she be a hunter? Yes. I wonder what Silksong's, like, Hunter's Journal is gonna be like. 'Cause they're alleging so many more enemies and bosses. So surely they're going to make entries for them like they did in Hollow Knight. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind about it. But dude, what's her story of, like, enemies gonna look like? I'm excited about that. I want to read through that as well. Hollow Knight, look at this big fella, this big hunk. Wowee. Fully grown vessel, carrying the plague's heart within its body. The old king of Hollownest, he must have been desperate to save his crumbling little world. The sacrifices he imposed on others, all for nothing. Yeah, poor fella. Imagine being the Hollow Knight. You're just birthed, chosen, trained, and then chained up and left to die. Quite sad. Pure vessel. Chosen vessel, raised and trained to prime form. Deepest silence and holy shell, given nail and named a knight. Bound by chain and egg and spell. Hear our plea, reveal thy light. Prayer to the vessel. What a fella. Seriously, how did he go from this to this? Bro could have been crazy, actually. Like, what happened? I mean, obviously the infection happened, but wow. What a difference. He was stuck in there for so long that his cape is like a rag now. And the nails just completely broken. Bro lost an arm sometime in the process. Like, man. Poor fella. Radiance, the worst thing that's ever happened to this kingdom. The light, forgotten. The plague, the infection, the madness that haunts the corpses of Hollownest. The light that screams out from the eyes of this dead kingdom. What is the source? I suppose mere mortals like myself will never understand. I mean, you say mortals, but like, we end up killing the Radiance. So even this puny god isn't immortal. Hate this thing. Shade. Echo of a previous life, defeated to retake its power and become whole. Each of us leaves an imprint of something when we die, a stain on the world. I don't know how much longer this kingdom can bear the weight of so many past lives. That's deep. I mean, considering it's basically just a husk of itself and so many people have died within its confines, yeah. Hunter's Mark. The mark of a true hunter. I have no offspring, nor subjects, nor worshippers. The sum of my being, my learning, my instincts, I leave it all to you. Good luck, Hunter. Man, Hunter's mean. I think I've made up my mind. I don't like the hunter. Bro sucks. Little asshole. Little arrogant egomaniac. That's what I think of him. Seal of Binding. Intricate seal of ancient design. Used to contain a powerful force, or to preserve something of great importance. And of everything, this is probably the one thing you need the most effort to get. It's literally just... you know... I mean... in order to get this, you need to complete the Path of Pain. It's like the only reward that you get for it, aside from that, one cutscene of the young, Hollow Knight and the King. Yeah, Hunter's a little bit of an ass. So I'm definitely missing a few entries, but I don't really know where, is the thing. Apparently there are a grand total of like 168. I only have 161. So there's a couple more somewhere. No idea where or how to get them, but they're out there. I'm pretty sure there's one that I should have gotten from beating Pantheon 5. I could be wrong about that though. I'm not completely sure. But there should be a few more. Honestly, there might be one for like all bindings for all I know. Like a lot of them are probably related to Godhome, if I had to guess, or secrets that I just never found in the world. Like, I mean, I was missing a Wanderer's Journal right here. There's also, like, every single dialogue that you can get from, you know, dream nailing things, like, you know, this guy. There's all of those, but I'm not going around Hollowness and, you know, going back through the journal and dream nailing literally everything. I'm not doing that. So, yeah. That's, where I'm at. And next stream should be Steel Soul, yeah? We feeling that? No. Cringe. That was so cringe. I got hit. Yucky. I didn't even know there was a guy there. What the hell? The green children walked from the dream unto these lands. Here and now we shall now wait, patient for the call to return. Interesting. Don't think I ever saw that one. That's a better number to end on. You know what? Yeah. I think I'm just gonna... I mean, there's nothing else to do. We did what we needed to do this stream. 3.5 hours? That was the Peppy ASMR stream. You're right. I mean, I say it in the description of the YouTube channel, or the YouTube stream, but... Yep, that was the ASMR stream, chat. If anyone's ever wanted to just listen to me ramble for hours, you finally got it. But yeah, I don't think there's any reason to come back to this profile. Which is a little sad, I think. This is like the file, you know? I started on this one, beat the game, did everything, got Pantheon 5, but I don't think there's really a reason to come back to it. This might be the last time that we see this file. Or maybe not. I'm not too sure. But either way, this is... I mean, all we can really do on this file. I've done everything that I really can do aside from the things that require other save files in order to get. It's been a good run. So, in preparation for the Steel Soul stream, I'm gonna get rid of this save. And we'll start the 112% Steel Soul run the next time. I'm really looking forward to it, honestly. I think it's gonna be really fun. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, I have a donation, join the Discord server, yada yada. You know the drill. You've heard this a million times. I will see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day or night. Bye bye.